Talk about a tough day at work. Last Sunday, Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator, found a traffic jam at Daytona that would be hard to duplicate, except for the arena of motorsports called Demolition Derby.
Well, they drive the thing backwards, turn backwards, 80 mile an hour, plowing into your rear end. When he's behind the wheel, he ain't got no friends. You better tie up your seatbelt, don't melt. Better get ready. Ooh, that looks like it's stung. Congratulations, you just got your bell rung by Bondo Jones. Accident prone, born in a Buick, that was hit head on. He's a demolition derby man. He's all the wreck one car can stand.
Tonight, it's Demolition Derby live on TNN's Motor Madness. From Orlando Speedworld, TNN Motorsports proudly presents the Gambler Bass Boat Florida Free-for-All Demolition Derby. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Evans. A big crowd on hand here in Orlando for a 3-hour crash fest. I know you at home have been waiting a long time for Demolition Derby to hit Motor Madness. It does this Friday night. And I got to tell you, they're going to crash out there on purpose. That's something I've always fantasized about, like, you know, get a car and just crash the hell out of it, just for no reason at all. Just have some fun with it. Just smash and crash, turn it into a molten mess of battle. I get a little carried away about that particular fantasy. Hopefully the newest guy on our motorsports team will not. His name is Al Ernst. You may know him from professional wrestling. Al?
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me as a part of the TNN family. We are going to have a great time this evening. We've got cars from all over the nation. In fact, even New York. Well, that's part of the nation. And we've got a rider in that, too. I think the meter's running. She is in for one heck of a ride. I'm going to send it over to my buddy Tim Wilson, who's going to tell you about some of the drivers.
Al Ernst, we got some fierce drivers out here today and some fierce names. Names that will strike fear even into our one and only Steve Evans. Names like Bone Crusher, Mad Dog, and this gentleman right here, Chuck Rush, the Junkyard Dog. With all these dogs out here, I'm starting to think we might want to be careful. Over to you, Bob Gerald.
Tim, there's no doubt it's going to be thick in the Derby pit tonight, but that's not the only thing that's going on. We are going to smash up that 70-foot trailer, and the guy that's going to do it is professional stuntman Hank Haas-Wise. How's he going to do it? He's going to drive his car up this very ramp that I am standing on, and he has to hit it at a precise speed and take off at a precise angle. If he does that, he'll come out unscathed. If he doesn't, well, nobody knows. That's why it's a death-defying stunt. I know this. A lot of people are looking forward to it, Steve Evans.
Bobby, I wouldn't stand on that ramp, let alone hit it with a 3,800-pound car. And all these cars will be scrap metal within the next 3 hours. Who knows? One of the fans in the stands just might find a piece of one of those wrecks in the new car that they buy. Right now, for the first time, let's go back to Charlotte, North Carolina, our Motor Madness home base with Randy Pemberton. What, Randy? No Katie Haas for Demo Derby?
No Katie Haas, Steve, but Katie is off on a little excursion to Europe, so we're going to try and carry on without her. We have got a great show for you here on TNN Motor Madness this evening. Of course, the Demolition Derby, looking forward to that. Going to rack up a few cars out there. We're also going to go to Rockingham, North Carolina. That's the site for this weekend's Winston Cup and Busch Series action. Qualifying had taken place earlier this afternoon. The Busch Series field is set. The Winston Cup Series field, the top 25, that has been set as well. A lot of news coming out at Rockingham. We'll recap the day's action down there. We'll have a story from Matt Yoakum here on TNN Motor Madness from down at Rockingham. And we'll also talk with Steve Burns, who's going to have some very special guests for us. He's down in Pinehurst, North Carolina, adjacent to Rockingham. Steve, I know you've talked with Dale Earnhardt as well as Richard Childress and a couple of their drivers this evening.
Yeah, Randy, we're going to talk to them all, but personally, I can't wait to see Haas jump the barrier. That's going to be big, awful big.
What about, what's the flavor of down at Rockingham as far as Dale Earnhardt is concerned? He came off a bad weekend last week at Daytona. What's the overall thoughts of him going into this weekend?
You know, Randy, he didn't qualify very well. I think he's 26th or 27th, but he told me that he just kind of got loose, and, well, you know, Earnhardt gets loose now and then because he drives her in there so hard. But they're very confident about this weekend. You know, you'll hear from him later on, Randy. Yeah, he's disappointed he didn't win the Daytona 500, but quite frankly, I think we in the media and some of the fans make a bigger deal out of that than Dale does. He's won more races at Daytona than anybody else. So, you know, the big prize, Randy, they want to win that 8th NASCAR Winston Cup Championship, breaking Richard Petty's record of 7 that he's tied with.
Okay, Steve, look forward to getting back to you down there to get that discussion with Dale Earnhardt as well as Childress and the other guys. We've got a lot of action coming up on TNN. If you've got your clicker in your hand, just turn it off right now. TNN all weekend long. We've got the Busch race at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Then it's race day at 11:30 a.m. Sunday morning, followed by a Winston Cup preview at 12. Looking forward to the Goodwrench 400, and following that, of course, the Goodwrench 400 at 12:30 p.m. We got some racing coming up next. We got the Demolition Derbies. Get it back out to Steve Evans in just a minute. But right now, we got to take a quick break. Glad you could join us this evening.
Brought to you by Miller Lite, who invite you to sit back and enjoy a Miller time. And by Quaker State Motor Oil, for a clean running engine.
Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon check out their new teammate, Ricky Craven.
The new guy looks pretty fast. And when we tell him about this new formula Quaker State, he might get even faster.
He could win a lot of races.
He could even win the championship.
New formula Quaker State has over 9 state-of-the-art additives for a clean-running engine.
Of course, there is no rule that says we have to tell him about this new formula Quaker State.
None that I know of.
New formula Quaker State for a clean-running engine.
Orlando Speedworld is really kind of a down-home, multi-purpose racing facility. They got a drag strip, they got motorcycles. It's not really in Orlando, though. It's in Bithlo, Florida. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Welcome back, everybody. We are live on TNN, and a lot of reasons for caution tonight, as we've got about 50 Demolition Derby cars that'll see action. And one of those we've already talked about, and that's Haas Wise. Let's meet this professional stuntman and demo derby driver.
Haas Wise is a big man driving a big car, and some might think he has a big advantage because aside from running in the Demolition Derby for fun, by trade, he's a professional stunt car driver.
I started as a stunt driver when I was about 19, and I started with a Chrysler-sponsored stunt team called the Hurricane Hell Drivers, and we did automobile acrobatics. Spinning around in unison, 4 cars spinning in unison and driving on 2 wheels, doing short jumps and 2 or 3 crashes every show, and about 200 shows a year.
Haas's crew of stunt professionals helped him build his Demolition Derby car for tonight's race, but even all that expertise doesn't guarantee him a victory.
When it comes to the Demolition Derby, no, I wouldn't really have an advantage because, you know, it's just a bunch of cars out there and anything can happen. And I don't know exactly what's in their mind. And if I was doing a stunt, I would know what they were going to do next.
That is one brave man, Haas Wise. Bobby Gerald?
Well, it's a breaking story down here in the pits right now. Haas Wise, the car that he was going to attempt the jump in tonight, the stunt, his sheriff's car, has an ignition problem. So they had to go to Plan B. And what is Plan B? Well, it means that Haas is going to have to use his demo derby car now to pull off the stunt. So Haas is now out of the derby. He's disappointed about that. But Haas, I think more than anything, we're concerned about whether or not the change in cars affects your stunt tonight.
Not really. The cars are prepared a lot alike. A stunt car and a demolition derby car, that's where they have a common point. So that they're going to, it's set up, it can make the jump, it's got the power, it's got the necessary safety features built into it, so I'm not worried about that.
He's not worried about it. We're all going to be standing by and watching the death-defying stunt. Tim Wilson?
We're worried over here. I think Mayberry's missing a patrol car. I'm with 20X Adam Pouliot in a 1960 Buick LeSabre. This car has been in a pasture for 10 years. Adam, how'd you get this thing running?
I spent a lot of time working on it for about 3-4 weeks now, you know, trying to get it ready for the race. And, you know, she's been good to me so far, and hopefully she'll hold together through the rest of the time.
Well, we'll help you dig the grass out.
Okay, thank you, guys. Well, there you see them. We've got 13 cars that'll go out and crash and bash for about 12 minutes, and the judges will pick the top 4 or 5 to go to the main event. And Al Ernst, most of these drivers, Bill Turk, Brian Harrell, are from the Florida area. However, we're already seeing kind of a rivalry in the pits. Already had a little dust-up, if you know what I mean, between some of the racers from out of state, from Kansas, from Illinois. And the Florida guys seem to think they have cars that have been more liberally prepared. Well, so we'll just find out.
That's what they say, but I think most of those guys are from prison and from Kansas, and they can't get parts. So I don't think there's any problem out there. I think it's just a hoax at the beginning.
Okay. There are the officials. That is Dutch Holland right there on the right in the black. He is from legendary promoter from Northern California. He'll be the chief judge tonight. Give us a wave, everybody. We're live on TNN. Now, the starter is pretty creative. Often they'll put 2 rows back to back, and they back right into each other. This time he's gotten diabolical. All 13 cars are lined up in 1 row, which means you've got to use some strategy here, Al. You've got to try to get into position to do all of your crashing with the rear end of the automobile. It's the less vulnerable end.
Well, that is usually my largest part is my rear end, so I can back into anything. And I think these guys are going to be able to do it, too.
Number 82, James Erb out of Orlando, has our onboard car crushing camera. And you don't think this makes the engineers a little bit nervous?
Not an onboard car crushing camera.
You got it.
Yeah.
Now, what the judges look for here is you've got to make a pretty good impact, a pretty good crash about every 2 minutes during the 12. If not, you're a wuss and you're out of here. In fact, right now, they tell them to fire up those engines.
Get them going.
You got to impress the judges, but you got to save your machinery. So if you get to the main event, you've got something to fight with.
Well, it's always good to win it, but if you got nothing to win it with, then you're not, and they're gone. They are gone.
They are gone. A melee right in the middle of this 200 by 100-foot battleground. Ouch. Ooh. Oh. James Erb with the onboard camera. He is striking hard and early.
And the big station wagon looks like it's coming back, but now we've got a big, already a hood up.
That's Adam Pulley up with the hood up. The radiator is the most vulnerable part of the vehicle. Everybody goes to the other guy's radiator. There we ride again with James Erb.
Where's he going? Whoa! It's a bumper cars at the carnival right now. Only there's a big dent in the side of that car.
Well, I tell you, the adrenaline is really flowing. Car number 88 having some problems trying to get the thing in gear. The drivetrains take a huge punishment here. Oh, come on. Jimmy, you got our camera. Be a cameraman. Get out there and do something.
That's right. Well, we've got a 33X with the flag. He takes a hit right in the rear end, but he's backing right up again.
And he's one of those New York drivers out of Danville, New York. Bobby Gerald, what do you got?
Well, the Bone Crusher in the 33X machine's the one out there crushing some bones, and Billy Prim is his crew chief. Billy, tell me about the special tire you guys came up with for the grass.
We went with a snow tire because we knew we'd be in the grass, and everyone running street tires, they're going to sit and spin. We're going to bite and hit hard. We built a radiator with ice just in case it gets a leak in it. We're still going to stay cool.
Steve, I know you're going to tell me that there are people who will think of something else than these guys thought of, but I think they were awfully thorough.
Oh, absolutely, and that's who the competitors are complaining about, is this huge crowd already saying, wow, this is neat. Where's this been all my life?
People are going nuts out there.
Yep, Jim Erb, come on, boy. Go on for that road. He's going to take a 11 car. L.D. Douglas out of Winter Park took a shot.
He is just, well, he's sitting right now. Well, he's got it backing up. I want to know where the snow is with this snow tire guy. That's what I want to hear about.
I tell you, that was pretty clever.
Yeah, wasn't it? Because there's no snow in Florida tonight.
Look at this. They are on top of each other. They are underneath each other. This is one of the best heat races or heat derbies I've ever seen.
I almost thought it was going to be a monument like in Washington with the flag on top of all the cars. Oh, they took one right. You just can't describe all of the great action.
All right, let's go down to Tim Wilson. Timmy.
Hey, I'm sitting here with the 2 loudest women in Orlando, Florida. They're for number 236, Paul Stevens. How's he doing out there?
He's doing great. He's got a flat tire.
I'm going to have to get away from here before I get hurt.
Yeah, I call my wife and I say, honey, I got a flat tire. She always says, oh, that's great.
That's great. We're so happy for you. You got to. That is the first time ever. Is he going to get out and change the tires? What I want to know right now.
Bobby Bobby Gerald, most of these guys have put tubes in those tires.
Well, Tim Wilson was talking about the 236 car. Paul Stevens was giving me a little information on the car. He said he bought it for $100. It's an 82 LTD. And get this, Steve Evans, the power seats in the thing, they still work.
I'll tell you what, we saw a couple of cars down there with 8 tracks that still worked. And look at the artwork. That's got to weigh about 10 pounds just in paint. That's the fun of Demo Derby. The whole family gets involved. And, man, 236. Paul Stevens, he is going for it, isn't he?
He has got one, and he's just got the speed going backwards. But wait a minute. It looks like a radiator. Did I see some smoke coming out of the front of that car? Is he...
For the 33 car, that's Bone Crusher McCarthy from Danville, New York, and he has got his own bones crushed.
He's got his rear end bone. That bone is totally gone right here.
Well, actually, you don't mind beating up the rear, and it's the front end you try to save. And 82 has apparently lost his radiator. James Erb has lost that radiator, and he's trying to refire the car.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about. The radiator's the thing. And look at the front of the car, doesn't even have a dent in it. Now he's just trying to get going. See, you can see that. It's non-dented, but he lost it completely.
Well, a lot of these guys put some special treatments in the engine oil to try to allow them to run without coolant, but for how long? Who knows?
Well, my VW Bug used to run without coolant, but it's going to tip over, too.
I believe those were air-cooled, Al.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, the 13 car took a shot right in the passenger's door.
But the 13, look at it, the 13 car is the size of a small tank. The 33 is completely stuck. That's the limited. He is just completely... He's buried. He's gone. Yeah, I wonder if he might be able to get some assistance from one of the other guys out there.
And the majority of these cars are automatic transmissions, and you got to kind of rock it back and forth. I'll tell you, they've got that 13 car stuck right there in a horrible sandwich. That is Pee Wee Lee.
Yeah, well, Pee Wee is becoming a Pee Wee as we speak right here. It's just the total sandwich in that.
And you know, you're supposed to engineer them with a little cut in the frame where the rear end bends up instead of down. When it bends down, you can't go anywhere. It's right down on the ground, and that's what's happened to a couple of these cars out here.
Pee-wee looks like he's going to jump out and beat on someone. Did you see that?
Yeah, there is a little natural adrenaline and animosity that flows occasionally here.
Yeah.
So, as the judges look over this field and try to figure out who's going to go to the main event, we're going to take this break and be right back to Orlando.
Seatbelt, hope your motor don't melt. Better get ready. Ooh, that looks like it's stoned.
If I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe it.
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't have believed it.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
These people just witnessed an amazing demonstration. We put this Duraloop-treated engine through the ultimate torture test. We drained all the oil, all the water, then flooded it with a fire hose. It kept on running because Duraloop protects your engine like no other product can.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself.
Now, let Duraloop make a believer out of you. Duraloop, peace of mind in a bottle.
We're back in Orlando, Florida. It is the darndest sight I have ever seen. 13 able-bodied vehicles have now been reduced to absolute junk. And they've got wreckers and bucket trucks and everything.
They got a bulldozer. They got a bulldozer taking it away.
That's what we need. And I'll tell you, even the pets had a tough go in this one.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go out there and just, kind of show their stuff, not destroy each other. There's going to be a lot of repairs going on in the pits to get ready for the main event, if indeed you made it.
There's the bulldozer that is carting off a TNN. He wanted his time. It just was a time right there to be still. He's not even moving.
Okay, let's go down to Bobby Gerald. Do you have any idea who won?
You know, it's very confusing because I think this race was supposed to go, or the Derby was supposed to go a little bit longer here in this heat. But everybody stopped. Ralph Murchie was in the 409. What kind of flag did you guys see? Why'd y'all get out of your car?
Oh, we had a red flag for the finish of the race because there wasn't enough time, I guess. And they let the last 3 of us win it.
How'd you think you hit?
Oh, I hit hard. It was a great race.
You smacked them up pretty good?
Yes, sir.
All right. He thinks he's advancing to the main event, I tell you that.
He may well be.
He's hitting hard. I don't think he is from Clearwater, Florida originally. What do you think?
No, I don't think so. There is car number 9. Is it 9 or is it
It could be 6.
No,
it is 6. It
yeah,
is car
Brian
number
Harrell.
6.
He's out of Lakeland, Florida, and let me tell you, if he gets to the main, he's got something left to fight with. And already his pals are saying, what are we going to have to do? So-and-so, you fire up the gas welder, you fire up the electric welder. Everybody, let's get the bumper bender. Let's do this, let's do that. Hey, Tim, what's happening? What? That was unbelievable.
Hey, I don't know what's happening. I'm here with Adam Poyot, the man that I interviewed earlier, and take a look at the back end of that car, boy. Woo, you think you're going to need a jump. How you feel like you did, Adam?
I don't feel like I did too bad. You know, getting ahead as hard as I did, and the car wouldn't hold up.
The fact that it didn't disintegrate surprised me. Back upstairs to Steve and Al.
Well, Al, you just saw your first demo derby live. What do you think?
Well, I would say for the town of Bithlo, Florida, they have almost erased the entire population of cars right here, right on this field. So I'm ecstatic. I'm waiting for heat number 2. I guess it's just going to take some time to clear off all of the different cars that are just sitting in the middle now, just kind of dead out there.
Normally, there's a little more strategy involved than we saw tonight. Right, Bob Gerald?
Well, I think so. I mean, these guys were just hitting with no regard. There was no pace to it. This thing was an all-muscle deal. Now, Dutch Holland, the guy who is having this conference with all the officials right now, he's the demolition determinator. He's going to determine which cars will advance. And, Dutch, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but tell us a little bit about what happened there. Why did the heat race end a little bit earlier than we thought it was going to?
They saw the black flag come out, and the ambulance driver on the other side thought it was a checker, so he hit it. Rather than, we were getting ready to close it off anyway, because we want to save something for the main event.
You guys close to making a determination on which guys are going to advance? How many hits?
Just a second. We're adding up one more to go.
All right. They're going to decide. They're going to pick out the last guy that's going to advance onto the main event. And so I guess we have no choice but to just stand by and hang out. But I tell you what, Steve, as soon as we know it, you'll know it.
What an unceremoniously way to have a fine racing vehicle depart the arena. That is just so sad. I bet you can buy that for a couple of bucks. Stay with us, folks. We're going to be back with heat number 2. I can't imagine it'll be tougher.
He's a demolition derby man. He's all the wreck one car can stand. Remember that old Elvis song, Poke Salad Annie, Gator Got Your Granny? Odds are one of these Florida citizens is the one who did it. These things remind me of somebody's mother-in-law. This right here is Bone Crusher, missing the end of his tail, missing 2 toes. If alligators ever get interested in motorsports, I think they're perfect candidates for demolition derby driving. Look at them eyes. Staring you colder than your cousin does when you ask him to co-sign a car loan.
I don't believe old Bone Crusher is going to co-sign anything, Tim.
Yeah, well, you know, I think Bone Crusher can be found not only on the track, but at his Orlando Speedworld Jungle Adventure. It's an interesting place to visit, but I don't want to stay there.
Just a few miles up.
Yeah.
State Route 50. In fact, there's 4 alligators living within the confines of Orlando Speedworld.
I think they're on the screen right now, Steve. I didn't know. Wow, there they are. No, there they are. Well, they're still carting out the cars by the boatload, to use a nautical phrase there for us, and yeah, we got some results.
We do indeed. Number 6, Brian Harrell, Mike McCarthy, James Ebb, Ralph Murchie. I wonder how many they're going to take directly to the main here. The only way you get there is directly. There is no conceit. So at least 5 are going that we know of. We may still be waiting for Dutch and his associates to determine the rest of the main event qualifiers. Understand that Dutch Holland is totally impartial. That's why, actually, he was brought in all the way from California. He doesn't know any of these racers. They don't derby on his circuit out in Northern California and Nevada and Arizona. So Dutch is here, totally impartial, and we needed somebody impartial, because let me tell you what, it gets pretty tense out there.
Yes, it does. Well, Steve, let's tell the folks at home what a real term is. The business term is they demo. They don't derby, they demo for us. And I thought that was like a demonstration. It looks like a little bit more than a demonstration to me.
And I tell you, this is a sport. You talk to these racers or demoers, I guess. Their kids get involved. They help tear the car apart, knock out the glass, and rip the radiator out of it, rip the radio out, all the fun stuff the kids get to do. Beat it with sledgehammers, get it ready for Dad to go demo.
You know, and I believe with this car going out, it's going to make the town of Bithlo, Florida, with its official slogan, where the cars are on blocks and the homes are on wheels. So I think That's what they're taking a look at, that's for sure.
I love flames on anything. Just give me flames, lots of flames.
Yep, that's that number 13 car there. The flames didn't get touched. Did you notice that? They stayed away from the flames.
Johnny Pee Wee Lee.
Yeah, he sure. And he was the guy who was mad a few minutes ago. I thought would break into some of our wrestling moves.
You know, it might surprise you, though, Al. Some of these demo competitors will actually take the car, enlist their friends' help, and put some new sheet metal on it and try to demo it one more time. Bobby Gerald, what you got?
Well, Brian Harrell, the winner of heat race number 1. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you.
Is that news to you?
That was news to me. I just thought I made the main draw. I didn't know I won.
Tell me what it takes out there to win a heat race. I mean, is it totally just about being aggressive? Do you pace yourself at all?
I think it's just aggressiveness. Just go out there and hit as hard as you can, as many times as you can, and knock them all out.
All right, no report yet because he's not by his car on the damage to number 6. How badly damaged do you think your car is as far as trying to get it prepared for the main event?
Looks like all we need is 2 tires and a radiator, and we'll be back out there.
All right, that should not be a problem at all for Brian Harrell. Again, he is the winner of heat race number 1.
No, he is the survivor of heat race number 1. This crowd is the big winner, and you at home enjoying this Demolition Derby live here on TNN as part of Motor Madness. And we appreciate all of your support with all of your banners and all of your enthusiasm.
Yes, we do.
It absolutely is a pleasure for us to be doing this. And we will be right back and doing some more.
Burn it.
Welcome back to TNN Motor Madness. We'll be heading back to Orlando, Florida for more Demolition Derby action in just a moment. But right now it's time for Miller Lite News and Notes. And, of course, all the action at Rockingham this weekend. Going into Rockingham, we can tell you that last weekend, Johnny Benson Jr. broke a toe in a late race crash in the Daytona 500. Also, a new crew chief for the number 25 Ricky Craven car, and also Bud Moore Engineering did not show up at Rockingham this weekend after he failed to make the Daytona 500 last week. You know, the 1997 Daytona 500 is in the books, and all eyes are now focusing towards Rockingham this weekend for the running of the GM Goodwrench 200 tomorrow, as well as the 400 on Sunday at Rockingham. But as happens so often, the very first race of the year could very well set the tone for your team's success throughout the season. Some drivers delivered, others did not. Let's take a quick look back at last weekend's Daytona 500.
39th running of the Daytona 500 had a little bit of everything throughout its 200 laps around the 2.5-mile super speedway, including a lot of Hendrick Motorsports when the checkered flag fell. 9 different drivers would take their turn leading the draft last Sunday, all hoping to be in the right position to pull it off at the end, but only 30 of the 42 starters were around at the finish. Among the early favorites to fall by the wayside was Miller Lite driver Rusty Wallace, who lost an engine 47 laps in.
I tell you what, it is a heartbreaker. It's a real bad heartbreaker. But I told the guys before the race started, I said, look, guys, we came a long way. We've been doing really good all week long, qualified good. Both pre-races were great. If we have a problem at 500, don't get down, man. We'll go right into Rockingham and do all we can. We want to win this championship real bad, but this is a bad Daytona 500 start, no doubt about that.
There were several wild rides taken, including this one when Robert Presley got pushed out of the pack and up on his nose. Robert was taken to the Halifax hospital where he was treated and released. 8 different caution flags slowed the event as guys like outside pole sitter Steve Grissom got into it with Kenny Schrader. Ken would continue, Steve would not. As the event closed in on conclusion, it was guys like Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, teammates Ernie Irvin and Dale Jarrett, among several others, all still with a shot. But it was this wreck on lap 188 that would change it all. Eventual winner Jeff Gordon made a move on Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt's Chevy lost some air, pushed up into the wall, and for the 19th time, Dale failed to find the checkered flag first. But even getting upside down did not stop the Intimidator for trying to get to the finish.
I got an ambulance, and I looked back at the car, and I said, man, the wheels are still on that thing. I got out of the ambulance and asked the guy inside the car, they was hooking it up. I said, secret crank. And he cranked it up. I said, get out. I said, give me the car back. So I drove it back around here, and we taped it up.
After that crash, which also flipped the wings of Irvin and Jarrett, Bill Elliott was suddenly all alone, attempting to hold off the advances of 3 Hendrick machines. It didn't happen. This late race crash took out several more cars, but allowed Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, and Ricky Craven to cross the line 1, 2, 3 as they swept the 39th running of the Daytona 500.
Certainly a great weekend for the Hendrick Motorsports team, and they'll look to do it again this weekend at Rockingham. We need to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Miller Lite news and notes right after this. Welcome back to TNN Motor Madness. No surprises at Rockingham in qualifying this afternoon in Winston Cup. Bobby Labonte set the early mark with a lap of 23.395 seconds. That lap stood until the 43rd driver took to the track. That was Mark Martin in his Valvoline Ford. Martin busted a lap at 23.189 seconds for a speed of 157.885 miles per hour, bumping Bobby Labonte and setting a new track record. For Martin, it's his 33rd Winston Cup pole.
I couldn't be happier. You know, I just want to thank all the Roush guys who work hard and smart all winter. And, you know, thank Valvoline and Cummins and Bugles and Bosch, Ford, Goodyear, all the guys that support us. I'm just really confident we're going to have a great year this year. We have an awesome race team. The guys have done a great job. We had a good showing last week, and I'm looking forward to going racing.
Yeah, he was awful good in practice. He was, you know, beat everybody in practice really good. So we knew that he was going to be the one that, if any, you know, one that was going to be fastest. We didn't know how many was going to beat us, but fortunately we dodged a lot of bullets, except for Mark. But I tell you, he gets around here awful well. Hopefully I can learn something Sunday by following him.
Mark Martin on an early roll in Winston Cup this year, and we need to take a roll right back to Orlando for some more Demolition Derby action. Now we'll go out to Steve and the guys.
You know, Randy, if I say Dale in Winston Cup, you say Earnhardt. Well, in this sport, Demolition Derby, if I say Junk, you say, gotta be the one and only Junkyard Dog. And guess what? Today is Junk's birthday. This is a guy so well known in this sport, he doesn't even have a car number. I don't know if he even has a legitimate name. Let's find out in this profile.
His name is Chuck Rush, but everybody knows him as the Junkyard Dog. The dog, as his closest friends call him, has created a nice living for himself, hustling as an independent scrap metal dealer.
I tell you, man, I'm already sitting here, but I can't go 100. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $60 to take it off while I'm sitting here. That's probably about the best you're going to get anywhere anyway. Okay, you got a deal.
Besides being a tenacious businessman, the Junkyard Dog is famous throughout Florida as a self-reliant, hard-working Demolition Derby champion.
You're looking at the crew chief, the tire man, the paint man, the body man, the stripper, the parts chaser, just everything. I've got, you know, 99% of my work on that car has been done right here by me. You know, I like to think of myself as pretty easygoing. I mean, there was a time when I'd snap, but here lately I'm real easygoing and everything. And so I'm always trying to be friendly. I try and be a nice guy as much as I can possibly be, but when you get in the car and you hit that first hit and you hear the stands go nuts and the fans cheer and stuff, it kind of transforms me into, like I said, I just never give up. I'll go at you as hard as I can, as fast as I can, as much as I can, and I just never give up.
So just how tough is the Junkyard Dog? Let's put him to the ultimate test.
Orlando is the fastest fastest growing city in all of Florida, but you don't sense any growing pain with its marvelous architecture, palm trees everywhere, wonderful water, and more entertainment venues than anywhere in the world. And already, Al, on the grid, we haven't started yet, number 3 blew up.
And you know what number 3's name is? Spud Earp. I think he's a baked potato there tonight.
All right, we got 15 cars. There's Spud Earp, real name John, in his Chevy Caprice. That Buick station wagon, a William Colvin, will be a real contender. They are tough to defeat. There is so much sheet metal there, and the frames are so stiff and strong. Brian Grayton, Butch Ethan, as we look through the field, as we get down a ways, we're going to find one of his very controversial out-of-state invaders, and that's going to be David Segrist from Simpson, Kansas. He's one of the cars, a lot of the competitors have said, wait a minute, we weren't allowed to do this. And they say, yeah, you were, you just didn't do it. He has built his to the full limit of the rule book, shall we say, and the rule book's only about 2 pages long.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a brief book. It's a very small book. In fact, it's just a Xerox copy of a page, I think.
Scott Hammer is out there with the only Cadillac. That's number 85. Bobby Gerald?
Well, Bones, the mascot for Dennis Cornelius, is all lit up and ready to go. Dennis, it's been a long time since you did a Derby.
Yes, it's been about maybe 10 years, but I did another one up in Michigan when I was up there.
He says he's ready to go for this one. Tim?
It's going to be the battle of the dogs down here. Of course, we have Junkyard Dog, but right over here, I got Darrell Mad Dog Stevens. Here he is from Vero Beach, Florida. Darrell, how come they call you Mad Dog?
I was a little crazy in high school, and all my buddies called me Mad Dog.
Well, you're crazy tonight, too. Strap yourself in. Look at this. Got a seatbelt just barely on. These people are crazy out here. Back upstairs.
Yeah, they're not the only crazy ones. Some of them are holding microphones down there. The starter is getting real creative. Remember heat number 1? They were just all lined up in a row. Now, he's got them set nose to nose. Our in-car camera in 007. Richard Yokel's car out of Longwood, Florida. 007, a popular number in demo. What do you think? I was going to take some strategy here.
It has got to take a little bit of a strategy. I think I would back up first. I would back up and then go. But, you know, most of these guys think they'll get that radiator thing going, and boom, that's going to be it for the old day. And Spud's gone. Oh, I hear the countdown here. And they've recounted the countdown. It's typical for Demo Derby.
I think you're right. I think we're going to see 15 cars go straight backwards. Oh,
they did.
The 3 car in the middle. He sat there. Oh, and did he ever make that work?
Yes, he did. And that's Spud. That's Spud. Spud is working again. The potato is out there, and there was a major hit over there. Something real quick about the Junkyard Dog, too. This is the first race that the Junkyard Dog's parents have ever been to. This is his 93rd demo, and this is their first race they've ever seen him in.
And I get the feeling that these drivers all watched that first heat and said, maybe we shouldn't be quite as aggressive. 007, come on, be a good cameraman. He's trying to get it into gear. Here's out the back of the 007 car, and he's got it going again.
Well, and they're going, they like that backwards technique. There's no doubt about that. They get that battering ram going.
Oh, yeah, totally different attitude from this heat and the first one.
Yeah, a little more conservative here, that's for sure. Just a couple of bumps and grinds.
Let's go down to Bobby Gerald.
Tom Woe, the crew chief for John Spud Earp. And we saw that number 3 car smoking before the race started. Was there a problem?
Well, I don't know about that. We didn't know that there was going to be anything wrong with it, but he's still running out there right now. He's going at it right now, and he just nailed somebody again.
Now, I'm noticing that black number 3 on the top of your hat here on your head.
Earnhardt fans.
Big Earnhardt fans. They painted the car up just like Dale Earnhardt, and John Spud Earp is out there giving them all kinds of troubles.
Which is really amazing because the car is playing in pain. I don't know about the Spud, but the car's not 100%.
The Spud is a waffle fry. That is what he's got. He's got something. But look at the Junkyard Dog moving around.
Junkyard Dog.
Got a little speed up there, but just a brief little, he's not, oh, he gets backed into by car number 33. Also a billboard on Highway 50 is also car number 33 as well.
The dog was temporarily hung up on the tire barrier, or he was faking it, one or the other.
Yep.
But he took a hard shot to the left front from David Segrist, the guy at Simpson, Kansas.
And now it looks like the action is really beginning to get better and a little more aggressive there.
The crowd is just pumped. These cars aren't so loud that you can't hear the cheers and the roar over the exhaust note.
Well, you know, Steve, they've got fan clubs out there tonight. Oh, and the Junkyard Dog just, he bit somebody right in the behind back there.
And he did it perfectly now.
He sure did. Well, the human billboard, number 33, or I should say the auto billboard, I saw him out there.
Let's have one more look at that shot from the dog.
Yeah.
There he comes.
And the bill, He's got it going. Ouch.
Ooh, and that had to have knocked the differential cockeyed in that car. Had to have.
That's how, and something like that.
Okay, hey, Tim Wilson, you all right?
We've got Junkyard Dog's next door neighbor, Nandy Woods. She's got a sign out here that says Kitty College loves Junkyard Dog. She's really into this. How's he doing out there, Nandy?
He's doing all right. He's watching his front end, what he needs to do, and he's getting out there and he's getting ahead.
Right, does he come over and borrow tools from you and then not bring them back?
No, just,
Sugar, does he come get anything?
No, he just keeps me up till 2 a.m. in the middle of the night. He's working on the cars between the houses.
I think we've got a soup brewing down here.
You're not kidding.
Back upstairs.
Well, I tell you what, he may be over borrowing some tools because he is hung up right now with Jason Iberfloss, the 31 car, the Junkyard Dog trying everything he can do to get loose from that black 31. But this may cost him a shot at the main event.
It looks like they are completely, they're bonded. They just got married. The dog got married right up there on his birthday, and he's not going anywhere. He's trying. Look at him make the effort, but...
Well, we do have to go somewhere, and hopefully when we come back, the dog will have managed to untangle himself. Stay with us.
Demolition Man.
We're back with live action from the Gambler Bass Boats Florida Free-for-All. And fans of the Junkyard Dog, and there's plenty of them up there in the seats, gotta hope he scored enough points early on to make the main event.
Well,
you can see it's still going on. They have not given up, and it's not necessarily the last car moving that wins.
Not even close. And yeah, as you can see, we've got a broken tire with a tilted there.
Okay, Bobby Gerald.
Well, one of those cars that's still going is Dick the Encore, number 12, Sam Watley, the crew chief. He was stopped for a while, though, and then he restarted. Was he sandbagging?
No, he had a little transmission problem, it looks like, but he got it fired back up, let it cool down a little bit, and got it fired back up. And now the only damage it looks like he has is back in the trunk area. We've got the extra tires, and we got the extra radiator, so we're all set for the next heat.
Might not be a bad strategy, though.
Ooh, I got to tell you, sandbagging, that's a dirty, dirty word in this sport. There's 007, Richard Yokel. Our in-car's still working, but Richard isn't.
No, he's just having a smoke there and then enjoying himself. I think James Bond does that, too, after he wrecks his car.
He'd like a martini shaken, not stirred.
There you go. Well, you're gonna shake a lot of people here. I don't see too many people stirring around.
It's hard to believe they are still crashing and bashing out there.
Well, there's a couple of cars that are just playing human pinball, and the rest of them are just, that's all they're doing, is just going around the circle.
And that black 33 car still out there working it is that guy from Simpson, Kansas, David Seegers, that everybody was so afraid of.
Yeah, that sure is, and I guess they had a right to be afraid of him. We'll just see what happens from here, and I think that is my human billboard guy that's still going.
And Dick Denacour out of Palm Beach. He's still out there with number 12 and 33.
Yeah, that's 33, my human billboard. There he is. He took every billboard along the highway from Kansas all the way here to Orlando and put it on his car.
There'll be no way of keeping him out of the main event.
No, and no way to keep his advertisers out either.
Let's go, Jack!
Yeah.
Let's go,
let's go where? That's what I want to know. Where are we going to go?
Well, there's really only 3 cars still moving, 33, 17, and there's 12. And I'll tell you what, that thing is crushed up in the back just perfectly.
Yeah, it's very nice, and he rammed it. He's using that as his own little battering ram.
I mean, this crowd would have rooted for the Lions in ancient Rome.
Yes, they would. Well, number 33 is still, look at him push. He's like just pushing the guy with the broken radiator. I can't see what number he is, but he's pushing him into the dog. It's like he's making his own parking lot out there. That's all he's got going.
Valet parking,
yeah.
To see the 33 car. Okay, Bobby Gerald.
We have the biggest fans ever of Dick the Encore down here. They're rooting him on. Can he win it?
He'll win it if we make the last heat. We're going to win this one right now.
And then he says he's going to win the main event. It's kind of like a wrestling thing, Al, you know? I mean, I think this guy could have been the wrestling promoter.
Well, it is. It's a power slam. And this guy right now has got he's got a full frontal. It's a suplex, basically. That's a suplex move is what he's got.
You did a lot of professional wrestling announcing, and you see a lot of analogies here.
Oh, I sure do. But actually, I think these guys take a harder beating in these demo cars right now from what I can see, because they're still up and moving. Most of my wrestling guys, they just lay on the canvas and wait.
One of the great old wrestling terms I remember applies to David Segrist. They want to say loser leaves the state.
Yeah, in a demo derby, loser leaves town for the big time title tonight.
The checkered flag is out, and a lot of people think that Dick Encore has won this thing. His fans were going nuts. Maybe trying to sway the judge's opinion. It'll take a little while on this. Oh, man. Some of these cars are going to be back, folks. Believe it or not, some of these cars are going to be back for the main event. And you think the body shop is good in your town. Wait till you see what happens in this pit area here in Orlando. We'll be back live. We got a fire going. Oh, man. Get the weenies.
It'll hit you with a gas floor, kick you against the dashboard. There goes your bumper. Better get the wrecker warm. You feel like an Iraqi in the desert storm.
When you think of agriculture in Florida, you naturally think citrus. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons. Did you know that Florida rivals the state of Texas in total beef production? Even has longhorns, which I think are just for display purposes, but I'm not absolutely sure. Well, I'm sorry, there's a bunch of cars now that aren't worth even displaying, as they have been absolutely trashed in heat number 2. But the winner is David Segrist, number 33. That was that killer car out of Kansas. And Dick Dunnicar, his fans will be a little disappointed. He makes the main event, but he's down in 3rd. Bob Gerald?
All the way from Kansas, David Segrist, you're the winner of heat race number 2.
Yep, it was hard, but I came out of it.
Now tell me about the damage to your car. Is there anything, I mean, this thing looks remarkably good after all that smashing.
It's a good car. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. We're working on it, though.
I don't really see a whole lot of damage. The guys are taking a look at it right now, but Steve and Al, I think that this is going to be a car that will be in great shape for tonight's main event. David Segrist, the winner of heat race number 2.
Well, you can see right there the number 33 car making a lot of aggressive moves. And as I say, the auto billboard, and now they're just shaping it up. I think they're not doing anything to the engine. They're just putting new signs and advertising on the car as we speak. And that is going to be an exciting main event with this car. I want to see who else is going to be able to take on 33. He's the apparent, heir apparent, as they would say, for them.
Well, you know, the next Demolition Derby, Al, I'm sure you're going to be there with us, is going to be in the greater Atlanta area. So make your plans now to be on hand for that Dixie Crash Fest. It's Friday night, March 28th. That's at Dixie Speedway in Woodstock, Georgia. For more information on tickets, or you drivers who want to crash it out for yourself, call the Dixie Speedway for rules and registrations. Their number is 770-926-5315. 770-926-5315.
Steve has trouble with the number sometimes, but I'm sorry, it may sound funny, but you can call for rules for the Demolition Derby, and we're getting ready to go out again.
We'll have heat number 3 when we come back.
Welcome back to our Motor Madness studios. Randy Pemberton aboard. You know, last weekend it was a 1-2-3 sweep for the Hendrick Motorsports team of Rick Hendrick. What about this week at Rockingham? Could they do it again? Well, our Matt Yoakum is down in Rockingham, and he files this news report.
Randy, the Hendrick Brigade is still reeling over the sweep of Daytona, but that 1-2-3 finish didn't stop Hendrick officials from making a big personnel change. On Wednesday, crew chief on the 25, Phil Hammer, was replaced by Andy Graves, who spent the past 6 seasons working on the 25 sister car, the number 5 Kellogg Chevy.
I went from sweeping floors 6.5 years ago to being crew chief now, so I think that shows you, it tells you a lot about the organization and that they do promote within. So I mean, it's just great for me. It's like a dream come true, and I knew sooner or later I was going to have to make a decision whether to leave and take a crew chief job elsewhere or to wait it out here, and I'm very lucky that it's happened pretty quick for me.
The sky's the limit for us. I really believe that. We got a great group of people around us. He's very underrated. I mean, he's a welcomed addition. Hopefully he'll get us to victory lane sooner.
Graves is the first employee to leave the Kellogg's team since Terry Labonte took over as driver 3 seasons ago. Another personnel change took place in the Goodwrench team. Front tire changer and fabricator Gene Dehart was released this week for undisclosed reasons. A few quick Busch notes. Ricky Craven officially announced today that Robestos will back his BGN entry for 20 races on the 1997 schedule. And when the green flag drops tomorrow, Dale Jarrett will make his 300th career Busch Grand National start. Randy?
Thank you, Matt. Well, we got to pay a few bills at the moment. When we come back, we'll pay a visit to Steve Burns down in Rockingham, who will have Jay Sauter, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver. We'll be right back.
The chase, the conquer. A tight competition of made in the USA horsepower, where asphalt tests your nerves and triumph becomes your desire. It's the SCCA Trans Am Series from the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida. The cash and carry Grand Prix with exclusive same-day coverage. Sunday, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central on TNN Motorsports.
As you well know, Dale Earnhardt will be appearing in our studios a little later on. But I went out and fished up my own Dale Earnhardt story, and it brought me to downtown Orlando, Florida, to the Gambler Bass Boat Factory, home of the world-famous Dale Earnhardt Intimidator bass boat. How intimidating are these bass boats? They're so intimidating that when Dale Earnhardt himself is ripping through the lake, getting to the fishing spots, fish literally dive in the boat, bait their hooks, and fish with Dale. That's a bass boat.
Nope, that's an Intimidator.
Wow.
We are back live at Orlando Speedworld. The fans are stretching their legs. They're setting up heat number 3. It can't possibly top the first 2. And you know, would you think of a demo derby car of an educational tool? Some people around here did, and it's working. Like many public schools today, Samsula Elementary School in Volusia County, Florida, needs support and financial assistance from the entire community. So Orlando Speedworld owner Robert Hart has adopted his old alma mater and offered Principal Joey Alexander a unique and educational fundraiser.
Educating everyone takes everyone. And many times in education, some things are overlooked that we truly need for our children. And through the generosity of Robert Hart, New Smyrna Speedway, Orlando Speedworld, they have become our business partners and have helped us to be able to raise the money to fund the things for children that enhance their education.
A few weeks ago, Robert's friend driver Jeff Culp lectured the kids on safety and the importance of a good education. Then he showed the children the car he was going to make their own Demolition Derby fundraiser. Jeff and Robert have pledged that all their winnings from this car will be donated to buy new books for the Samsula School Library. And the kids were very appreciative.
You never know, you know, we might luck out.
Thank you.
We bring that car back, we're going to be ready.
And just yesterday, they unveiled the car and let the children put on their own finishing touches.
Jeffrey, a great thing you guys were able to do there. And I understand one girl was so moved that she signed her name on the car. It's the very first time she's ever written her name.
Right, what really moved me yesterday was this one little girl, she couldn't write, and all of a sudden she was really trying because it was the first time she's ever done it, and she's got it on the back quarter, so we're going to really give it a good shot for Samsula School tonight.
They're going to be cheering hard for the car, the X1R car, driven by Jeffrey Culp.
I'm down here with number 84, Kevin Huggy Huggins. Huggamania, that's what we're looking at. Kevin was the Illinois-Missouri Border Wars Demolition Derby champion in '96. Kevin, is there anything different down here in Orlando than it is up where you're from?
Up there, you got to put all the cars out and be the last car running.
Oh, man. So here you just have to, you got to put on a good show down here. Well, you got the baby in the window and everything. Good luck out there. And I don't know about you folks, but if I was in this, I'd need some huggies.
Or a sign that says, baby on board. I guess now they don't do that anymore. Well, there is the winner's circle, huh? A Gambler bass boat. You know, tonight, Al, they may not win the bass boat, but they got a lot of bragging rights and cash awards. and also valuable gift certificates from a few of the performance industry's most prestigious names, like B&M Racing and Performance Products and Crane Cans.
Well, Steve, I seriously doubt that the winners will put their products on a future Demolition Derby car, but they will come in handy for any other vehicle that they have and for your vehicles as well.
And bear in mind, coming up, Randy will have more in the studio from Rockingham. We take a look at the grid for heat number 3, and we've got about 11 cars, I guess. And the double O car, I think, is going to be the car to watch in here. It's another one of those Salina, Kansas Invaders. We've got Oldsmobiles. We got Chevy Impalas. I bet you anything, there's a bunch of Chevy wagons out there because they are real popular because of their crush factor. Paul Hyman, an Oldsmobile. And all of these are Florida drivers with the exception of Jeffrey Colt, who we just heard from Canton, Ohio. And this other ringer, not really a ringer, but you know what I'm saying. I think I've said this.
This isn't a setup. This isn't pro wrestling, Steve. We don't know who's going to win, unlike the other place. I didn't mean to blow that for everybody out there.
Oh, man, there's no Easter Bunny?
No, and no, well, Santa Claus, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay,
look at, I'm sorry, look at the whole alignment this time. They are all over this time. They are on the sides. It's a square, and they're backing up into it.
This is going to be a major intersection in the center of this battlefield. Oh, this starter is creative.
Yes.
Out of the back window, a Jeffrey Colts X1R car. Where the back window
and he's heading right for the trailer. Don't do that. The stunt is coming up soon. Okay, he's moving away from it. I feel much better. There's my taxi. Hey, wait a minute. I need that guy. I was talking to that girl before we started tonight.
You know how many little kids are here tonight rooting for that black and white X1R car? They all got their names on it.
Well, they sure do. It looks like my driver's education car. Yep, the inside looks like my driver's education car right there. That's exactly how I drove with that the helmet on.
You can see the battery just sitting to his right. They can't have it under the hood. The gas tank's behind him, about 2 gallons. Can't have it in the normal location.
And look, he's got a Tickle Me Elmo on the side there. So I think it's a battery egghead is what we've got there.
You know, I would think you'd get a kink in your neck looking backwards all the time. Bobby Gerald?
Well, these guys down here, this whole group that you're looking at is the X1R crew, and they all work on Jeffrey Colt's car. Now, Dick Giles is the head of the Auto Racing Legends. What do you think? Can he win this one?
We hope so. But him in the school.
Yeah, now tell me a little bit more about the school. How many kids is this going to help out if he comes through?
I think a lot. A lot of them.
Good deal. You guys cheer hard. Maybe he'll be able to hear you out there and get inspired. All right.
Well, the answer to that question is about 200 kids, actually. But he's going to have to start getting a little more aggressive. Some of the guys out there are making more contact.
And look at it, he just did. He just took out the another car to coming to the side. Now they're over at the perimeter, almost where they started the race. And this guy, he's just going to park to the side and let his balloons fly over there.
And I got to tell you, 151, the wagon with the yellow thing on top, that's Jimmy Talley from Louisiana, and he came to play.
Yeah, well, Louisiana's known for some hot crawfish there, so they're eating and then they're riding.
Hey, Tim Wilson, you're into that Louisiana food. Oh, buddy, 3X. Looking out that side window, that's Ken Hankins. Everybody enjoying the action, and a little grub along with it. Oh, 76 got himself into a sandwich. Benjamin Kraft from Orlando.
He keeps going over towards the restaurant banner, hoping maybe he can get a little dinner before he goes back out again.
Well, you can tell the well-prepared cars, those are the ones that bend up in the back, like we talked about before, except for the station wagons, of course. And here comes our educator.
He's educating right there.
He is a kiddie's pal tonight.
Yes, yes, he is. No, I think is that a Garfield? No, that is, I go ahead and say crush that right up.
Ooh, and Jeffrey got a hit in there. That's going to look good in the judge's book. And he escapes. The yellow 2-car, Randy Noy, got a lot of damage. What are you doing now, Jeffrey? You're looking right in everybody's living room.
And he's tearing my cab apart. And I am really getting hacked off there. I wonder how my girl is in the back. I don't know if we can get a shot back there.
Did you get emotionally involved with her?
I did. We got to talking, and you know, next thing you know, it's after the show tonight. So please don't hurt her.
You are a lonely man.
Well, you know, that's like.
Life on the road.
There you go.
I love it when they run the exhaust axe up to the hood. I don't know why, I just do. When he works in the metal factory, he can go and have, whoa, and a full loop out on 14, Victor Whaley. Hey,
Well,
there she is, your date.
There's my date for tonight. Hang on, stay right there. I'm coming down. And look, he is digging. He's stopping it for me. So please don't, turn the meter off. The meter cannot be running on this thing. Randy, this is, it is named after his wife's favorite. Who's the girl in the back then, Randy? I'm trying to get to know her.
Hey, Bobby Gerald.
Well, Terry Siraki is the crew chief for Todd Rao is the assistant crew chief for Terry Siraki. He's out there in the 0-0 car. Tell me how Terry's doing so far.
He's doing real good. He's hanging in there. He's got a long ways to go. There's still a lot of cars left out there. He's doing real good. Car's doing good. I think we're going to be there.
All right. Steve and Al, this is just my observation, but I'm thinking maybe this is the heat so far where we maybe have seen the most finesse, if you can use that word, at a demo derby.
I did not know there was such a word as finesse in the demo derby, but I'll take it. I want to go with strategy. I think there's a whole lot of strategy. Look, the guys, that was a strategic move right there to push him around to the side.
And X1R, Jeffrey Culp. There you see with the giant sign on the roof. He's still out on the prowl, looking for more damage to inflict. And let me tell you, it's considered poor sportsmanship or a cheap shot to hit in the driver's door. You can also get disqualified for it if you're wondering why more guys don't try to hurt the other guy. Not that they like him so much, they just might lose.
Yep. This is, and it looks like my taxi has stopped, and I am done for the evening over there. So looks like we're going to have to go for the elementary school. But our guy's backing up again. This school car, he's running it like a buck.
And he's a very experienced derby runner and race car driver. And I think Bobby's right. I think finesse is a legitimate term.
Oh, give it a break. Give it a break. A strategy, there's a thoughtful strategy, a donut in the middle of the track. I say go ahead and make the perimeter a little wider, too. Let's just drive through the tires and take on the whole track there.
Oh, there's some vicious shots going on out there now, just vicious.
Well, they're going to jump over the top, and they're getting to the guys in the next heat.
Well, heat number 3 continues. The damage is immense. We'll be back with the damage report after this.
Yeah, the boys gonna snipe you, they're gonna sideswipe you, better confidential, they're peeling you off the wall. You're gonna need a differential and a Tylenol.
Recently, Terry Labonte gave a little advice to his new teammate, Ricky Craven.
Ricky, there's 2 things you need to remember when you're out here on the racetrack. First, you need to use this new formula, Quaker State motor oil, so your engine runs clean. Okay, Terry. Second, you need to stay right behind me.
New formula Quaker State has over 9 state-of-the-art additives for a clean-running engine.
Terry, if I stay right behind you, I'll never beat you.
Exactly. You're catching on fast.
New formula Quaker State for a clean-running engine.
Well, we are back live, and as you can see, heat number 3 has been stopped, red flagged, because of, well, general mayhem and a fire in one of the automobiles. They didn't want to get out of control.
Well, there is, I didn't know there was such a thing as getting out of control, but it looks like he is okay here. He's going to go for a smoke? No, he's not. He's just getting his hat on.
That's Ken Hankins. Bobby Gerald, what the heck's going on down there?
Well, we're going to find out right now. Dutch Holland is the demolition determinator, so he has all the answers. Dutch, what's the deal here with the red flag?
His transmission was throwing out fluid and got on his manifold, started his wires all on fire.
Okay, so he has been disqualified. That was the number. It looks like the 151, the Napa car. So he's out of this one?
Restart. Well, we're going to restart right now, according to them. Yeah, he's out right now because he'd do it again, and everybody else would be getting hot, and it's not fair to them.
All right, well, if they're going to restart, that means we better get the heck out of the way.
Yeah, but they're going to have to call AAA and get about 15 trucks out here.
Well, what did he say he's getting a transfusion? I think that, no, he's getting a transfusion out there of transmission fluid. He's got it. I saw it. It was starting.
Okay, everybody's trying to get restarted, trying to get disentangled from each other.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
Oh, come on,
1,
Steve.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
how are they going to get restarted?
There's 10 out of 14 cars left.
Okay, and they're all sitting there. Up there's now that's it's a line. That's 1XR. That's our school car. And let's see if the kite's still flying. Is the kite still flying up on the top there?
Well, I'll tell you, Jeffrey's done a heck of a job.
He sure has. Yep, there's my kite right up there. I always say, let's go fly a kite at the demo derby. these guys, what are they going to think of? It looks like something started up. He's got the wheel rolling. I think they've restarted it.
I believe so. And Victor Whaley Jr. may have jumped that start. Let's see what Jeffrey can do with the remaining 2 minutes here in heat number 3.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to get a transfusion.
I think he's going to go hunting.
He's going to go hunting
for a 14 car.
Well, yeah, everybody's...
And there's 151, Jimmy Talley. He did get a transfusion, apparently. You're right.
He did, and well, it just wasn't fair. But fair isn't in the Demolition Derby vocabulary on the rule sheet. I think that's not on number 8 on the rules. He's fair.
You might wonder if any cheating goes on in Demolition Derby racing.
No.
Nobody would put a little steel in the rails to make it stronger.
No, that wouldn't be. Look at the pipes coming out of the 14 car. No, that just is a nuclear device that'll go out and blow up the rest of the cars in there so you can win.
I tell you, this field was grass when we started. I don't see any now.
No, I don't see a thing. And my taxi is just, he's sitting. I think he thinks he's at the airport. He is waiting for a fare.
Well, I never met a New York taxi driver that wasn't armed.
Yeah. Well, there you go. He's got...
or anybody in South Florida, for that matter.
Yeah, he'll snap like a postal worker.
Ooh, that hole wasn't quite big enough for Kevin Huggs at 84.
Well, what's he got hanging behind that car?
Everything. Bobby Gerald, it's a mess down there, bud.
Oh, it is a mess. And Pappy Waldman is the crew chief for our guy, Jeffrey Culp, who all the kids are rooting for down here. He's got a radio, but I haven't seen you talking on the radio too much there, Pappy. Is that thing doing you any good?
We only want to give Jeff the time, how much time he's got left.
So that's all you're concerned with right now. Has he reported anything else going wrong with the car? Everything's all right?
He's still on the move out there, which is good. It looks like there are about 5 cars, so I hope we're in the big one.
All right. Pappy used to be a racer. We understand Pappy used to run around the old Flemington Speedway in New Jersey when that thing was dirt.
Well, let me tell you what, if he's not in the main event, there's a whole bunch of little kids that'll tear this racetrack right down. Now, here's a hit for you. Oh, the 14 car, Victor Whaley Jr.
And you know the reason that happened is because he was on the radio getting the time. Now, elementary school kids, you guys know the time by 3rd grade. What do you need the time for out there?
I got to tell you, though, Victor Whaley, he's out of Illinois, one of the guys these Floridians just do not like. Didn't like him on sight in the pits today.
They didn't. They started attacking him right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a Florida thing. Right?
Baseball card collector, all right.
Well, that is baseball cards and Demo Derby. I think he's going to a trade show.
How about collector cards for Demo Derby? Huh?
Yeah, well.
Oh, 44 didn't care for that.
No, he's a little hacked off.
Paul Hinman thought that was a cheap shot.
Yes, he did.
Well, I'll tell you, look at the speed Victor gets out of that thing.
Yeah, but he didn't hit anybody. He just no.
Let's see that blow one more time. This will shake your fillings loose, and it's executed beautifully. Looking out that left rear window going, yeah, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah. And that was a little help by the Kansas car.
Yeah.
It's all these out-of-town guys trying to break in the circuit over there.
Here's X1R again.
He's trying to get out of a pit over there. He's got down by, where does it say? Amanda, 3rd grade, I think, is what that reads over there. So, Amanda, if you're out there, you've just gotten on TV.
14 is dominating this 3rd heat. And I mean, he's fun to watch. I think he's got a Necker's knob on the steering wheel there, the way he's driving.
Yeah, he looks like the Munster's car out there. That's what he's got. That's where
the bar and grill sign is now upside down on what the rear spoiler it's become.
Yeah, the bar. Well, it is literally the bar, and then the grill's hanging out.
Look at the momentum that 14 takes. He gets way to the tire wall and then comes through, and these guys wisely got out of his way. He didn't get anything there.
Our school car just, nope, he's back in. I thought he was out, he's in. The 14 car is just running like a madman there.
I think that's Luke Duke at the wheel.
No, well, yeah, but I'm Boss Hogg. I don't know if...
Whoa! He was just about Dale Earnhardt at Daytona last Sunday.
Yep. He's trying to get some speed up around the tires there and see if he can take a couple more bashes into the side.
Let's see how close. Victor Whaley Jr. came to go, and he defied gravity on that one.
Well, he got up in the air, Steve.
Kind of.
Come on.
Didn't give it a bad name.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. You make fun of me going out with a mannequin. Come on, pal.
There's been times that I never mind. And the checkered flag is out. This one is mercifully over.
Yeah, I think we've got a clear winner on this one, and the crowd is going absolutely nuts here.
Yeah, Victor Whaley Jr. You know, I'm not a judge officially here, but girls, if you're dancing for him, you're dancing for the winner as far as I'm concerned.
It's a table dance.
Okay, we'll be back with the final heat after this. Stay with us.
The Demolition Derby man. He's all the wreck one car can stand. And every woman here is a Bondo fan.
If you yearn for palm trees, Orlando, Florida is the city for you. There's palm trees on every corner. There's palm trees on the center median. There's palm trees at Disney World. There's palm trees inside the restaurants. If you don't like palm trees, go to Seattle. Right now, we're at Orlando Speedworld, and you short track racers out there across the country saying, man, have they got some lights on that track. Well, it's not this good most Saturday nights. You see, the Musco Company, Musco Lighting out of Iowa, brought in 2 of their big mobile trucks and have just flooded this place with light. They are the premier lighting organization in the world. And that's all I'm going to say. They really are good.
I want to know if there are palm trees in Bithlo's lawn.
Let's go down to Bobby Gerald. He must have a winner or a semblance thereof.
I have a winner. Victor Whaley from Illinois. Victor, congratulations. Now, that was the most spectacular run we've seen in the heat races so far.
I like it, and I like to hit hard, and I like to get the crowd on my side.
Well, they might be on your side, but what do you think about being kind of the outlaw here coming from Illinois?
Well, I figured everybody would come after me, so I got to start it off.
Now, you almost tipped over. You got a lot of damage to the rear end of your car here. Tell me about the damage to the rear end and how that will affect you in the main event tonight.
Well, most of it, I'll cut it off so I can see, and then that's just about it. Just cut all of it off so I can see it, see out the back so I can go backwards and save a little more of the front end.
What about almost tipping over? How close was that?
It's not too bad. It's better when you tip somebody over and you park on the dry shaft.
Victor, congratulations, man. We are definitely all over you tonight in the main event.
Thank you. One more thing, I want to thank my dad for being my biggest fan.
You got it. Tim?
Hey, it's Coulterville, Illinois night apparently tonight. The runner-up as well. I'm here with Kevin Huggins. I just got through talking to Kevin before the race. Kevin, are you going to be able to do anything with this tire?
I brought another one. I can change it.
Will you have time to change it before the final?
Oh, yeah, we'll have plenty of time.
What do you think of the fact that you and Victor both came in 1 and 2 in that heat?
Well, we told him we was going to come down here and see how we could do it, and we done it.
The good news is he saved the baby. There's the baby, still hanging in there.
I say hi to my wife and kids at home. Hi, kids.
What's their name?
Sue Ellen, Angie, and Jessica. My wife's Susan.
There's the baby. There's the name. There's Sue Ellen. I can't read here, but there's the baby.
Well, that is one ugly baby.
Well, thanks, Steve. That's nice, Steve.
Let's look at the final results. Victor Whaley Jr., he did have the crowd on his side. Kevin Huggins, the late entry. Oh, well. Jim Talley. Hey, this is
Doesn't matter.
stuff. Terry Siraki. Okay, we have one more heat to go, and we'll bring it to you live here on TNN's Motor Madness when we come back to Orlando Speedworld. Hang in there with us. The night is yet young.
TNN Motorsports coverage of Winston Cup racing kicks off in Rockingham, North Carolina. Last season at this race, the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, used his hard-charging driving style to pick up the win. This season, Dale's ready to repeat, but Bobby Hamilton hasn't forgotten what happened. Plus, the rest of NASCAR's best will be looking for victory, too. It's the Goodrich Service 400, live Sunday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific on TNN Motorsports. Race fans, kick off the 1997 NASCAR season with this exclusive offer, an authentic TNN Motorsports NASCAR Thunder mini helmet made by Simpson Race Products. Call today or visit your local NASCAR Thunder store to purchase this one-of-a-kind limited edition collectible. Call 1-800-338-6016.
Welcome back to TNN Motor Madness. Randy Pemberton in our studios. Steve Burns down in Pinehurst, North Carolina, just adjacent to the Rockingham Speedway. And Steve's going to bring us up to speed on what's going on down at Rockingham. They had qualifying this afternoon. Steve, what about it? What happened down there?
Well, no big surprise, actually, Randy. Mark Martin is on the pole for both races. He took the pole for the 200 and the 400 of the Goodwrench weekend. And by the way, Randy, we just had a really bad thunder shower They got a sippy hole out in the parking lot now.
Well, sippy hole. I'm going to be going down to the Motorsports Park here in a couple of weeks. I'll do a little diving in the sippy hole.
I want you to do it. I want you to do it.
What's going on down there this weekend, Steve, as far as Richard Childress Racing? Had some success at this track. Dale, of course, 7-time champion. Earnhardt's the defending champion of this race, but he's going to have to pin on the backstretch, am I right?
Yeah, he qualified 26th or 7th, Randy. I'm not sure which. Said he got a little bit loose, but he said he got a great car, so he's pretty confident about a strong showing. And you'll be talking with Richard Childress later on. I know he's excited about his new driver in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series this year, Jay Sauter. Yeah, he's replacing Mike Skinner, and of course, Randy, they had a big Good Wrench dinner here at the Pinehurst Resort. That's why we're here. And talked to Jay just a little while ago. We let him go for dinner about his role with Richard Childress Racing in 1997. Jay Sauter is the new driver for Richard Childress in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. So you won't be racing this weekend, but the season got off to a great start for you.
Yeah, we had a great time down in Disney World. You know, the Good Wrench team, along with me as a new driver, we really came together there, and we brought home a 4th place finish.
Jay, your background obviously is stock car racing. Do you enjoy the Truck Series?
I'll tell you, the Truck Series is phenomenal. You know, I think everybody was a little skeptical when NASCAR proposed that, but it's come on so well, and they've done such a great job marketing with it. It's just a real joy, and the people are excellent to work with.
Your thoughts on your opportunity this year? You know, Mike Skinner was so successful for Richard. You're replacing, you got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, you know, that term comes up a lot. I'm just real fortunate to have the opportunity to work with Richard Childress Racing and all the people at Good Wrench and RCR. You know, Skinner did an excellent job, and a tribute to him is he's a great driver, but it's also a great team to be, you know, to be associated with. So I'm really not looking to fill his shoes. We're looking to make some shoes of our own to fill.
You've only got one race under your belt. Jay, what has surprised you about the Truck Series? I know you ran a few races, but any surprises?
I'd tell you the level of competition has really stepped up in the last 2 seasons. You know, the first year there were probably only 5 or 6 teams that were really there to run the whole series, but I think this year you're going to see 30 full-time teams that are all viable winners.
Your goals for 1997?
Well, you know, just to have a good year, be near the front in the points. I really feel like with this team we have a shot at the championship. You know, we want to win that first race. After we do that, we'll build from there.
Thanks a lot, Steve. We'll be heading back down to Pinehurst for more with Steve Burns, as well as Dale Earnhardt and Richard Childress in just a few moments. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more right here on TNN Motor Madness, so stay with us.
Saturday on TNN Motorsports. Go under the hood with NASCAR Garage, the show that takes you behind the scenes. Each week, we'll check out the performance side of a NASCAR race car and compare the technology to its street equivalent. NASCAR Garage spotlights the hidden heroes, plus features the rules and rule makers with NASCAR officials, and showcases the car-building craftsmen that make NASCAR the greatest sport in America. NASCAR Garage, Saturday at 3:30 Eastern on TNN Motorsports.
When you're in the greater Orlando area, there's just so much to see and do. I mean, you can't possibly do it all. But one thing you don't want to do is get out of Florida without first coming to Bithlo, unofficially the salvage body parts capital of the world. For a Demolition Derby fan, this is parts paradise. Where is that Bithlo brochure? Christmas, Florida. And judging from these bullet holes, looks like Santa forgot to bring somebody a Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, I think you got a Tickle Me Smith and Wesson. Well, a hush has come over the grandstands. The crowd has been quieted because of one of their own is in big trouble. There is no joy in the doghouse tonight. Bobby?
A tough break for the Junkyard Dog. You qualified into the main event, but now we understand something's gone wrong.
Yeah, we went back in. It drove off the track. We went back in and opened the hood. The motor's sitting completely on the side on the manifold. We got that pulled back down and found out we didn't have no reverse. The transmission, the linkage inside the transmission has come apart internally, and we just don't have time to fix it here tonight. So we'll take the car home and patch it up and bring it out the next time.
How disappointed are you?
I really wanted to win this. We put a lot of work in the car, but we had a good time. I came out with the intentions that I just wanted to have a good time, and we did. And, you know, that's one of them things you can't prepare for. So if it was something I did or should have done, that'd be one thing, but that's just one of the demo gods wasn't smiling on me tonight.
Seems like a pretty nice guy to me, Steve.
Darn straight, Bobby. Let's have one more look, Al, at the coup de grace.
And this was the coup de grace, as they say, not the Mardi Gras. That was it.
You know, there's a couple of cars in our final heat that look an awful lot alike. Their names are Tim and Daryl. Let's meet them.
My name's on the sign, but it's not me standing up here and saying I'm the boss and you will do this.
Tim Cordell and Daryl Taylor have a unique working relationship, one that mixes business with pleasure.
Motor swap.
We have our days, but you know what it takes to work together, smooth things out, and just get the job done, make the customers happy, and it's an important thing. So.
We get the jobs done, get them out, and then we sit down and iron out our grievances to one another a little bit later.
Tim and Daryl work long hours side by side in the shop, and although they're competitors on the track, they're teammates until the green flag drops.
We usually don't work on them like, we'll say like this is his car, or that one's my car, or you know, we'll both, all of us together, just me and him or whoever's here, we'll work on this car, get it done, get it the way that we like it, then we go to the next one. In other words, there's no, well, he's running this car, maybe I can mess with his carburetor a little bit or give me a little advantage or something, you know.
We've run first and second place several times, and he's beat me, and we get out and shake each other's hands, say, all right, good race. Now let's go back and build another one.
I owe him a few more hits.
I have beat on him pretty good.
He beat on me a few times. I owe him a couple of hits.
Well, Tim and Daryl have definitely bonded. So sweet. Thanks. There's Daryl's car, the 003, set for the next heat. Let's go down to Bobby Jarrell. Bobby, how's Haas doing?
Haas is getting ready. I tell you what, we're inching closer towards stunt time, and X marks the spot where Haas is going to come through the wall. Now, some people might think that this trailer is empty. That's not the case. Haas, there are a lot of obstacles inside this trailer for you to overcome. Tell me about what has to go right.
All right, well, the first obstacles are just past this wall right here. In the bathroom, we have a bathtub and the commode, and we want to make sure our tires and wheels don't hit that, throw us over, make us do a rollover inside the trailer. So if I clear these, and I should land in this next little room where there's 10 feet. That should be where I put the car down. But then the next obstacle will be the furnace. It's bolted solid to the floor, sits in the middle of the trailer. I hope I just glanced that. That's real important that I just glanced the furnace. The next obstacle is going to be a center pillar in the middle of the living room.
Oh, my goodness. There are lots of obstacles down here, Steve. And hopefully, for Haas, everything's going to go right.
Oh, yeah, I'm surprised Tanya Harding left all that furniture after she moved into her new double wide after the kidnapping. Okay, well, that's going to be the challenge for Haas. That'll be later on in our program. We'll be back with heat number 4 right after this.
Better tighten up your seatbelt, hope your motor don't melt. Better get ready. Ooh, that looks like it's stung.
Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by the Ramada Inn Limited University. Conveniently located near all the exciting tourist spots and the University of Central Florida, it's Orlando's best value. I know it's my home away from home. Well, heat number 4 is getting ready, and then it'll be main event time. But before the main event, we're going to have that jump by Haas. You can see his men there working on those ramps. Gosh, I really wonder if those ramps are strong enough.
I thought that mobile home was your home away from home. I thought that's what we were doing tonight.
I'm headed in that direction.
I think you are.
Let's take a look at the grid. Steve Gillespie with his Buick. He's out of Titusville. Tim Cordell out
with
of Orlando.
Nothing. He's got a no car is what he's got.
And Oldsmobile's no car?
No car.
Oh, he has no car.
No car. There it is. A 003 Daryl Taylor in an 82 Buick. That's exciting. I'm glad for him.
It is exciting. In his father's Oldsmobile was the previous guy on that stage. Brian Doucette and Ted Page, a Mercury Grand Marquis. They are bulletproof, I might add. More so even than the Monte Carlo. The only car that is absolutely illegal for demolition derby racing anywhere in the country is, you know this?
No, I don't.
The Chrysler Imperial.
The Chrysler Imperial. Okay, well, that is something that we all needed to know tonight. And I've also heard that besides all of these thousands of drivers that are coming up, we also have a late edition that is coming out tonight. And
that's a guy's given name.
Yeah, Donnie Funk. Now, that's of the famous Funk wrestling family. Dory, Terry, everybody.
Okay, now let's go down to Bobby Jarrell. Bobby, who looks hot in this one?
Well, Barry Brown in the 202. Check out this trick window netting he's got. Some of these guys have windshields. That's pretty cool there. And this is not even your car, right?
That's my brother's.
He lets you have it?
Well, borrow it.
Does he know you have it?
Well, he will when I give it back.
Oh, boy. This sounds like big trouble. Barry Brown in the 202. Practical joker down here, Tim.
I'm over here with local hometown favorite Ron Diaz in a 77 Lincoln Town Car, and his number is Route 4. And Ron, where'd you get a number like Route 4?
It's at my route at work. I'm a garbage man.
I don't want to laugh at your job here, because, I mean, you're about to tear this one up. You may be dragging this one out when you go to work in the morning.
Yeah, we loaded up in the hopper there. Like to say hi to my daughter, Crystal Lynn, and Recycle America.
Hello, Recycle America. I never thought I'd be saying that tonight. Back upstairs to Steve and Al.
There's too much excitement here. It's a public service announcement for recycling, and we've done that. And as well as seeing our in-car camera, that's the 69er, Bo Murphy. I want to know the guy who's got this brother's car with that big mosquito netting on the front of it, Steve.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, this crowd is pumped up.
Well, well, you need, and this part, there are some major bugs out here. You need that mosquito netting right down there. I petted one of the bugs that was coming out there tonight.
They're sleeping with the crows.
That's it.
Look how they've got them lined up here. Yeah. One car on the end, that's our camera car. Can he split the middle? Let's see if 69 goes right there. He goes. Oh, he got held up by 38, Ted Page. So he grabbed reverse instead.
I think there's a water bottle on one of the cars. I just noticed that. Just, I guess, in case you get a little bit thirsty right in the middle of it. Yeah, there's a gallon water jug. The garbage man needs to know that so he can recycle that. And that it's his water department. That's his city, and it's Paul's water department. He lives apparently in Paul, Florida.
There's one guy out there. Can't get the number on. Maybe we'll see him here in a second. Yeah. That's really classing the joint up. He's got, there it is, the auto shop. He's got custom wheels and white walls.
Well, and that makes it exciting. I also understand he's got a beeper. No, he doesn't know what a beeper is, so he's using his garage door opener as a beeper tonight.
Bill Lucas, 444, with the giant water bottle on top out of Melbourne, Florida. There is another one of these out-of-state killer cars in here.
Who we got?
That's number 88, Billy Blanton. We'll see him in just a second.
Yeah. Well, and we've got the dueling gas station auto fix-it owners. I see a wheel rolling off the side of the Demolition Derby. I'll tell you, it's the passion that gets to me on these. I'm getting very passionate about this. And look at 69er. He just drove right through like it was a traffic jam. But now that somebody's catching up with him there.
And he's playing Smart Demo Derby here, too, as is our guy in the
Smart Demo Derby. Yep,
that's an oxymoron?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Conflict in terms?
That's it. Steve, you guys, you think there's some kind of finesse? And come on.
003. That's Daryl Taylor and our 69 ER car.
Is that for the ER television show?
Oh, 003 just ran over a tire. I think he drug it out. Down to Bobby Jarrell. Bob Jarrell, go ahead.
And car 003. Ted Sam's the crew chief for the 003 of Daryl Taylor, and he's giving him all kinds of hand signals. Let me ask you, what are you trying to tell him?
Well, he can see me because we already got this program before we started. Either go to one side or go to the other side so that we can save the front end. Because back we can fix, we got to save our front end.
So he basically, obviously, can't see what's going on with the car, so you're his eyes.
Well, yeah, he can see me, and so way with Tim over here.
Good deal. And he's standing awfully close to the racing action, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, a bit too close. And our camera car is in big trouble. Bo Murphy got sandwiched by a couple of cars that checked on him. They teamed up on him, and they're still hitting him.
And he's in a steam room now. He's decided to go down and take a little steam there.
He knows it's all done. He said, I like the old days when you had a stick out, the one you just broke
there goes
off.
Bo. Bo's done. And he from Ohio. They took out one of the out-of-towners. The Ohio guy is gone.
Y'all related?
Yeah, that's my grandson.
Go to Tim. What you got, Tim?
I've got Ellen Smith here. She's got her grandson is Bo Murphy in number 69er. And he was putting on a steam show here for us a little bit. Ellen, are you a little disappointed?
No, not really.
I'm proud of him.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's, with all that steam coming out of the car, I think me and you both lost about 2 or 3 pounds.
Tim, you're supposed to be doing your Tim, you're supposed to be doing your job, not taking a steam. But I think the entire crowd is taking a steam over there.
Grandmothers are never disappointed in their
grandchildren. I like that. Tim, I think you just got told, buddy. That's exactly right. I heard that. What do we got? Everybody's lining up there. It's parking. They've all decided to park, except the 3 car, and who was told to go side to side. Now there's I didn't know you could go any other way. Well, he just took something out with the front end.
Yeah, that's Tim Cordell. And his coach is still, there he is right there.
Telling him go side to side. Look at, this is John Madden on the side over there.
It's like the manager in the dugout. All the weird signals.
Jimmy Johnson, let me go ahead and point out in my telestrator here how the strategy should have worked. Oh, this is Demolition Derby. I'm going to write this. There's 003. Once again, I'm writing this down. And if you want a copy of this, send me a copy. And I'll mail it to you, okay?
Well, I want engineering in the truck to know that I didn't make all those marks in the monitor.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go down and paint on the camera next.
Darrell Taylor, can he get out of this heat in the main?
And how I love the smell of oil burning in the morning.
Oh, even in the evening.
Oh, gosh.
Nitro on him would be even better.
Yeah, we have got... We're going ahead and making this into an evening kind of ghoulish. It's a Halloween kind of show here.
Well, Tim Cordell may be out, and then Darrell in the 003 is going to have to pick up the slack if they're going to make any money tonight out of that main event.
Well, it's not a long drive down to the Biffalo junkyard that Tim was talking about that you guys don't want to miss.
And when in Biffalo, make sure to take the junkyard tour. You may meet your own junkyard dog. I know I did when I was a teenager looking for transmissions for that 50 Chevy. We'll be back.
It's the Demolition Derby man. He's all the wreck one car can stand.
Well, back here in Orlando, heat number 4, it may not have to be stopped. It may stop itself because there is really only one car continuing to run. The rest of the field is kind of congealed into the dirt and into the tire war. 003, Darrell Taylor, that's the crew chief, the man that did all of that fancy directions from the side. There's only a little bit of time left, and there's the only car I can see that's moving. And the heats don't usually come down to this.
Well, they have got a car that is just keeps going. It's the Energizer Bunny car is what you've got there. And I think it's all over. And let me guess who's going to win this one.
Yeah, I think it's a slam dunk for 003. And he's got a lot of car left to fight with in the main. He could be really dangerous.
Oh, I think the main event battle royal in a cage for the title is going to be a spectacular evening.
Do you think that coaching from the sideline, is that in the spirit of competition?
Actually, I thought it was my telestrator work that helped him get to where he is now. And here comes the crowd still is going nuts. The thing is over with, and everybody is still going crazy.
Okay, and I'm sure that Darrell Taylor's plenty happy, right, Bobby Gerald?
Oh, I think he is. But, well, where the heck's Darrell going? Here he comes. Darrell's coming out of the top of the car. All right, I thought Darrell was moving away from us there for a second. Now, I understand from his crew chief, Ted Sands, that Darrell, you were at the chiropractor earlier today.
That's right.
What's the deal with that?
My neck went out night before last. I didn't think I was going to run tonight, but when I got here, started feeling better.
So your chiropractor said, well, I've got something for you, but what I really recommend is going out and getting banged around a little bit.
No, I recommend don't going out and getting banged around, but once the drilling starts running, the pain goes away, and it's fun. I just enjoy it.
Tell me about your strategy out there. Where do you like to hit, guys?
I like to hit them in the corners if I can, knock out their drive line. Direct radar shot's beautiful. But out here, people going everywhere, so it's just
watch out.
Keep going and hit what you can hit when you can hit it. And try to find people that are still moving.
Very good. Now, Ted Sams is crew chief. Step on in here, Ted. Yeah. Ted, you're giving this guy all kinds of signals and all that. How much do you think that helps him come out with what is probably going to be a win?
Well, we was the last car running, wasn't we?
I believe so.
See me, and I tell him, keep going, keep going. He knows what that means. Keep going and keep on hitting. We don't stop until we're the last car running.
You're the crew chief, and you've looked at this car now. How bad is the damage for the main event? What will you have to fix before the main event?
Nah, back's fine. We just take a little cutting torch, cut out the back. We got another radiator in the pit. Pull the fender out, either cut the sheet metal away. We're ready to go for the feature.
All right, there you have it. Ted Sams, the crew chief, Darrell Taylor, the driver. They make a potent team, and if Darrell Taylor's back can hold up, he is going to be very tough in tonight's main event.
If you were to call Central Castings and say, I'm making a movie about Demo Derby, send me one of them, they'd send you Darrell Taylor and his chief spotter. Unbelievable. The main event, no, the stunt from Haas is coming up next. Stay with us.
The meanest man driving, and that ain't no lie. He's legally blind in his good eye. He can't see much, but he can smell the kill. So you better not get caught standing still.
Man, look at that. What if we take Kyle Petty's car and hang it from the ceiling of a restaurant in Florida? Nah, never happened. Well, it's happening here at Race Rock, Orlando. These people are supposed to have everything humanly imaginable for a race fan to look at. But I've been here for an hour and a half, and I haven't found anything that has to do with Demolition Derby. Now, if I was going to use something in here to smash a car with, I think this baby right here might take out Ed's Impala. What do you think?
I think absolutely. My friend Bobby Moore is building a new race rock in Las Vegas, and there will be Al. How about a Steve Evans mannequin with my cute little announcer suit and headphone and everything?
Oh, yeah. And it would be Flock. The mannequin from the taxi would be trying to date
My date. Well, Darrell Taylor took that one, and I mean, he hit it out of the park. Tim Cordell, judges thought he was good enough for number 2. Richard Howell, Bo Murphy, our camera guy, he's going on to the main event. How about it? He scored enough early on to get their attention, as did Billy Blanton. Let's go down to Bobby Gerald.
How about Wild Bill Colvin, who was racing in his first ever Demo Derby, painted the car up all nice and built. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
What was it all about? I mean, did it hurt when they were crunching it?
Oh, yeah, this big hit in the door really got me pretty good.
Do you want to do this some more?
Yeah, I'll do it again, no doubt.
No doubt about it, says Wild Bill Colvin, the driver of number 4. Had a good time in his first ever Derby.
We all had a darn good time watching him.
Hey,
as
I'm
well.
losing almost everything over here.
Okay, what you got, Tim?
Well, I don't want to say that heat was rough, but take a look at this right here. That got second place in this heat. That's number 7, Rick Heil from Sebastian, Florida. Rick, you going to be able to get this mess ready for the final heat?
We got a record right here now. We're going to take it up there. We'll be back for the feature.
How long is it going to take you to fix a mess like that?
Long enough to put 2 tires on the other side and let my father hit it a few times with a big hammer, and we'll be back.
Hey, my wife's got a car when I get home that needs work. Can I bring it to you? If you can fix that fast, you can fix my wife's car.
If it needs to be fixed with a hammer, my dad's the man for the job.
Al, Steve?
Another native Floridian.
Yeah, as they all are.
There is 202 headed out of here. That was Barry Brown that borrowed the car from his brother. I wonder what his brother's going to say when I'd just sink that in the swamp somewhere, Barry. I'd just drive it right in the swamp, push it in, whatever it takes to tell your brother it was stolen.
Absolutely not. Just pull in.
Okay, stay with us, everyone. We're waiting on the stunt from Haas Wise and our main event here in Orlando.
It's a brand new racing season, and if you don't know the names and numbers without a program, you'll need this program. TNN Motorsports will get you caught up on all the off-season changes and the latest news from NASCAR with the Goodwrench 400 Preview Show. Join Eli Gold and Buddy Baker as they get you up to date on everything in Winston Cup racing. Then, immediately following, it's the Goodwrench Service 400. It all starts Sunday at noon Eastern, 11 Central on TNN Motorsports.
Welcome back to TNN Motor Madness. The NASCAR Busch Series will be in Las Vegas, Nevada for their 300 at that speedway out there on Sunday, March 18th at 1 p.m. For tickets, call area code 702-644-4443. It's been the BGN Las Vegas 300 Sunday, March 16th. Well, we need to head down to Pinehurst, North Carolina. That's where Steve Burns is standing by with Dale Earnhardt. He's going to talk a little bit about the crash that he was in at Daytona just 1 week ago and the upcoming race, the Goodwrench 400 at Rockingham. Steve?
Thanks very much, Randy. Of course, with the 7-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt here for the Goodwrench 200 and 400 weekend. Dale, you're a busy guy. Before we talk about Rockingham, let's button up Daytona. Your thoughts on the 500?
It was a tough one. Again, we didn't win, which it was really a tough one. The car was running great, and we were sitting there sort of running along with Elliott and waiting till maybe a lap or two before the end and start racing. And Gordon wanted to race a little and got under me in the air, pushed us off the corner and got into the wall a bit and created a big wreck, which I was the main course in it. So we come out of Daytona with a 12th race car and a 31st place finish. And that's the biggest disappointment, is we lost the race car and finished poorly too. So it's going to be tough to rebound from that, but we've got to get back in here and try to, win the next race and go from there.
Dale, the Daytona 500 does have a lot of prestige, but man, you hear all the racers say these races all count the same.
Oh, they do. Every one of them is 175 plus points, and you got to go out there and win or finish in the top 5, and that's our focus. Larry McReynolds made a big difference this year coming on, and we're really excited about the year, and I just want to go out and get consistent again like we were at the last season and before we got in that big wreck and all. So let's just get everything back on the right track here and go for them points.
Dale, I talked to Richard Childers and Larry McReynolds in Daytona, and they both said the same thing independently of each other, and that was that, man, Dale seems to have that fire, that he really wants it badly this year.
Well, I want to win. I want to race and win, and that's what it's all about. And we had a tough year last year. The accident hurt us quite a bit and quite a while, and to bounce back from that and feel good again getting into the season here with Larry McReynolds, it does pump you up. It does excite you, and I like to win, and that's the most fun thing I do, is try to win races.
And this year, going for that 8th championship, how much does that mean to you in a career where you've had so many milestones, so much success?
That's the next one. That's the important thing. It's the next championship. It's not just the focus of the 8th championship, but it's the next one. And the 8th one's going to be great, but the 9th one's going to be even more fun, So we're working hard to accomplish that, and it's going to be a good year for us. I just know it is.
Dale, finally, let's talk about the future. Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. You've got a talented young driver in Steve Park. A lot of exciting things happening for you.
Well, they are. Ron Hornaday did a great job in the truck last year and won us the championship, and he's working hard again with Napa this year to start off. And then we acquired Steve Park with the AC Delco, and the team's looking great for the Busch Series. He ended up 7th at Daytona. It was a great showing for the first time he's been there. So we're excited about that guy. I think he can win us some races. We're going to run him in maybe a Winston Cup race or 2 this year, see how that goes. And who knows, in a year or 2, be in Winston Cup racing with him. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about the team, though.
Dale, finally, your thoughts on this weekend. I know you didn't qualify where you wanted to today.
I was disappointed with qualifying, and I feel like it's more my fault, and as much as anybody was wanting to put a little more tape on the front end, do a little more, trying to pick up a little more speed and made the car too loose. And probably lost a good 10th or better in that retrospect. But heck, we'll race good. Let's get in here and go racing.
All right, Champ. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend and the rest of the season. Right. Let's go back to Charlotte with Randy Pemberton.
Well, thank you, Steve. Dale should be intimidating come Sunday. He'll sure be a good shot to win in the GM Goodwrench 400. Now, who's going to be intimidating with the Demolition Derby coming back out to site out there with Steve Evans? What's going on out there? You going to blow up a trailer, or what are you going to do?
Well, we got stuntman Haas Wise going to try to run that machine through a 60-foot trailer loaded with furniture, furnaces, and air conditioning, and toilets and everything else.
It's all your stuff.
No, it's Sonia Harding stuff. But I tell you, the crowd is just as excited about the main event Demo Derby to come. The action there has been phenomenal. In fact, let's go right down to Tim Wilson and find out what's going on with the double 3 car.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the double 3 car must be confident because they're setting the thing on fire, apparently. Now, they got a acetylene torch out. I'm with Ted Sams. Ted is the crew chief for Darrell from Tim and Darrell, 003. What exactly are you doing here, Ted?
Well, we got to get this fender away from this tire so when we go back out for the feature, if we take a hit in the front, we won't get tore up anymore.
Okay, well, try not to hit me with that. I tell you what, it's action down here.
If at first you don't succeed, get a bigger hammer. That's always been my motto. What's Haas's motto, Bobby?
Well, I don't know. We're going to ask him about it. It's almost time, Haas, to pull off this stunt. What goes through your mind right now before you get ready?
Well, I've done the stunt about 1,000 times in my mind, so really it's just a feeling of getting the butterflies in formation. The ramps look good, the trailer sets on a good level angle, and everything looks right from here. Like I say, I've done it 1,000 times in my mind, so the lane that I've been looking at in my mind is looking good here in reality. So looks like no problem from here.
Good luck to you, Haas.
Thank you.
Haas is getting ready to do this jump, and the fans are moving up on the edge of their seats right now.
Well, Randy Pemberton in Charlotte, I think the big question mark here is the automobile itself. This is not the car he had intended to try this stunt with. He had some problems with it and took his demo derby car. I don't know, man. What do you think?
I don't know. I just want to say thank God for America. What great entertainment we have right here on TNN. This is exciting. I can't wait to see this guy crash that thing through the trailer. Right now, we need to take a quick break. We'll be kicking it back out to Steve and the guys in just a minute. We'll be right back.
Race fans, kick off the 1997 NASCAR season with this exclusive offer, an authentic TNN Motorsports NASCAR Thunder mini helmet made by Simpson Race Products. Call today or visit your local NASCAR Thunder store to purchase this one-of-a-kind limited edition collectible. Call 1-800-338-6016.
Journeys to Beaumont, Texas to see a 51-pound midget wrestler. No, it's the newest edition of our Monster Truck Challenge.
Would you be my daddy for the day?
Yeah. Sorry, Eli, but we'll bring you all the high-powered, high-flying action as Samson, Bigfoot, and Snakebite battle to become king of the hill.
I set my goals after those guys.
The competition is getting fierce.
Right around the corner, somebody's ready to knock my block off.
As the teams make their way to Indianapolis to crown the champion of the Monster Truck Challenge.
It's really a great experience.
You feel the anticipation? Can you stand the excitement? Let's go back to the Florida free-for-all with Steve Evans. Are you ready for that stunt?
I am ready, absolutely. And as a promoter in a previous life, I booked a lot of stuntmen. Never Haas, but his reputation was always right at the very top. And Al Ernst in the booth. It's going to be kind of interesting for Haas because he comes off that pavement. He makes a transition to grass before he hits the ramps.
Well, it is going to be a tough one, but you can see him closing his eyes, going through the stunt. Like he said, he's done it 1,000 times in his mind. Let's see if he can do the reality, and I'm hoping I can keep that furnace. I really need that. I'm going to be going up north tomorrow. It's going to be cold.
Okay, so Haas is circling out, going the wrong direction on the oval. He'll spin it around and literally come out of turn number 2. And the speed he hopes to hit is about 65 miles an hour. And he gets to that ramp in the Whiskey's Pete's stunt special.
If I was doing that, whiskey would be the primary thing that would take me out. There would be no other way I would get in and attempt something like this.
I'll tell you what, looking at that trailer and that ramp, if he comes out the back of that trailer as planned, I'm buying the root beer for the entire crew tonight. Bobby, what do you think? Bobby Gerald.
He's got to hit it at precisely 52 miles per hour, and he has to be at the perfect angle over to the right. Here he comes, guys.
Well, Haas is inside there somewhere. You heard the big boom. Those are, I believe, his own pyrotechnics to kind of add a little fire to this stuff. They're going in to make sure he's okay. We'll get a report on him as soon as... Bobby, what do you see down there?
I can't see a whole lot. He entered right about where he said he was going to enter. X marks the spot. They're taking a look inside of the trailer right now, and I'll peer around the backside. Well, guys, I don't think he made it as far as he wanted to. He said he needed to clear the bathroom to be able to drive all the way out of it, and I don't believe that he cleared the bathroom. We can see Haas moving around in the car. As far as his safety is concerned, he has turned his head around, and some of the safety crew guys are stepping into the trailer right now. And I don't know if we can get to that area or not, but looks like Haas is all right.
Well, that's good because it's a strong commode, and that's what really stopped him was the commode, it looks like.
We could have commode walls, right, instead of crash walls.
That's exactly right. We would need to know that. But Haas looks like I see the helmet coming off. I hope he's not trying to go take a shower. But the rest of the trailer is okay, so Steve, your house is fine.
Well, let's take one more look at this. And Bobby Gerald, I really wonder if he was carrying enough speed when he came down onto the grass.
I would be concerned about as well. Again, he said 52 miles per hour was the speed that he needed to reach right when he hit the ramp. And, you know, being the professional stunt driver that he is, no one knows better about how to complete this this type of a stunt than Haas. He's coming up out of there, and I believe we will get a chance to talk to him. He has just come out of the car. He's stepping through the wreckage here of the home. Haas, you're all right. You didn't make it as far as you wanted to, though.
No, like I say, that the bathroom was a problem, and I didn't have the speed, I don't think, so we'll try it again another day.
Was having to change cars? I know that's not really the car that you wanted to go in. Was that a factor in not getting enough speed?
Well, I was counting on the Whiskey Pete Mercury to get me in there, and I thought it did have it, but apparently we didn't have it, so.
What do you do when you come through the wall like that? I mean, are your eyes closed?
I'm hiding in the glove box.
Well, I tell you what, I'd be hiding in there somewhere. So now what does this mean, Haas? What's the next step for you? Will you live to do another stunt?
Certainly. I didn't get any bruises all that one, so we'll try it again.
All right, the show must go on. Stuntman Haas Wise has still entertained us out here, and I tell you what, we've had a chance to be around this guy for the last couple of days.
Hello,
he is a really fun-loving, neat guy.
I tell you, he's my new hero. Now I want to see how they extricate the Whiskey Pete's Cougar. You know what happened here? He didn't have enough speed. There's no speedometer in that car. He didn't know if he was going 52 miles an hour. The front end nosed over, and he just went in too low. And then the rear tires, as you'll see, don't really get in cleanly. Look at this.
Well, as he said, it was that bathroom that stopped him, and I knew that bathroom was going to go ahead and take him out. I think he got too much of the Back to the Future, thinking he had to get the exact speed to do the time warp right through the trailer.
Randy Pemberton, I don't think any Winston Cup driver has ever used the excuse, I just couldn't get by the bathroom.
No, that was the one that got me, Steve. Couldn't get by the bathroom. He wouldn't have gotten through my bathroom either. It's kind of a mess right now, but a great stunt. I'd like to see that one again.
Well, you will. Well, you're seeing it right now, Randy. We are going to play this one because the strength of the car just going into the side, you would think it would just carry it right on through, but no, these mobile homes are much stronger. What happens with the tornadoes then? I thought I'm going to go ahead and take this mobile home for the next tornado run.
I think it's still livable.
I believe it. I believe you're absolutely right, and it's got a car garage. It is a car garage, and there's Haas, the home wrecker. He has wrecked a home. He's given me a garage. I have a place to stay now.
Yeah. Well, all in all, life is just okay. Randy Pemberton?
Well, thanks, guys. Great stunt. We've got, of course, the action this weekend at Rockingham, and the field is set for tomorrow's Busch Series race after qualifying this afternoon. And if you've been paying attention, any guesses as to who may be on the pole for that one? If you guessed Mark Martin, you are correct. Martin's lap of 151.264 miles per hour put him on the pole and has set the stage for Mark to potentially pick up his 7th Busch Series victory in his last 10 starts at Rockingham.
Very little practice, but, you know, Brian Schaefer, the crew chief, and, you know, LW and Ted and all the guys, they do just do a super job for me. It's kind of a clicking little team for me. You know, and Dennis Shoemaker tries to get us what we need. You know, we're still working to elevate the team a little better, but, you know, we've had good runs with it. We've been pretty consistent, and no, it's just a fun little thing. I'm just coming over here, and I just tell them what I want, and they try to get the best they can and, you know, do a good job.
And that's Dick Trickle. He qualified on the outside of row 1 for tomorrow's race. Here's to take a look at the top 10. There's Mark Martin, Trickle, Ricky Craven, a good qualifying effort for him. Here's the second 5 for tomorrow's race. Elliott Sadler, another good qualifying effort for him. He did well in Daytona. Elton Sawyer rounds out the top 10. Take a look at the Winston Cup qualifying order. Mark Martin on the pole again. Jeff Gordon, there he is 4th. Jeff Bodine, good run for him as well in the QVC machine. Ken Schrader, Grissom, Craven, Brett Bodine, good effort there, and Ricky Rudd. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be heading back out to Steve Evans and the guys for some more Demolition Derby action.
Went terribly wrong for Haas Wise and his attempted ram through of a 60-foot trailer house. It started with that explosion. Then the rear wheels hit the pavement before it got inside, and then he was rather trapped inside. But Haas is okay, said hi to his mom, and waved to the crowd. Here's the field, Al.
This is it.
Final.
Well, we've got number 6, Brian Harrell, and number 33X, Mike McCarty, coming up. James Erb, number 82, just with the name, I think he's got a shot at it. And 409, Ralph Murchie. Number 236, Paul Stevens, and number 13, John Lee.
As we look at the rest of the field here, you'll notice that virtually all of those out-of-state cars, particularly the Kansas cars, have made it here into the final, and this is going to be a real shootout between the Floridians and those Kansans.
Come on, Steve, didn't you watch the Wizard of Oz? It's a tornado, Kansas. You know, this isn't Kansas anymore, Toto. We are setting it up for the absolute finals, and it's going to be a lot more than just sitting in the trailer, as Haas's car still is, and I think it's going to be spectacular.
Now, you don't have to hold anything back at this point. There's no more competition tonight. And this will either be the last car still able to move, or when we run out of time. And if there's 2 or 3 moving, they'll pick a winner. That's kind of how it's going to go down.
Steve, are you saying that there's going to be no finesse in this?
I'm saying there'll be tons of finesse in this. And speaking of finesse, here's Bobby Gerald.
Hey, Al, lay off the finesse. All right, we'll talk about that later. Now, you guys talked about the guys from Kansas and the guys from Florida. Well, I got my money on an old boy from Illinois, and that is Victor Whaley, who almost tipped over in his heat race, but still won. Victor, you've done some work to your car now. Tell me about this main event. You going to do it?
Yes, I'm going to try. I cut the back end out so I can see, and now I can go backwards a little bit and save my front end some.
With all that damage, though, to the rear of the car, it's shortened up quite a bit. Does that affect how you will be able to hit?
No, it don't. I can still hit as hard as I want and as fast as I want.
All right, and tell me one more time what you like to do to the competition.
I'm going to try to turn somebody over tonight, and I'm going to hit them hard.
That's my guy right there. I'm telling you, number 14, Victor Whaley Jr. Tip?
I'm down here with one of the Kansas boys, David Segrist. You know, whenever we came out this afternoon, I was looking at cars. I knew you Kansas boys were gonna be in the finals of this, and I'm picking you to win this thing, David.
I sure hope so. We went through a lot getting here, a lot of money, too.
Well, I think it ought to be a new rule. If you drive a certain amount of time, you should automatically get into the final. Can we try to get that made an official rule now, Al, Steve?
I agree with it. I'm for it.
Victor started lobbying us about noon today to have a lot more demo derbies live on TNN near his hometown in Kansas. He says this traveling is killing him, but he came here specifically, he and that whole group, to be on TNN to entertain you all tonight, and I think they've succeeded no matter what happens here.
Oh, I think they have done a tremendous job. We've got, and they're rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs right there. I don't know if that's a good omen. Didn't they get eliminated in the first round of the playoffs? There is my taxi. I wonder if my girl is still in there. Is my date? And my date may be coming up to the booth. Yes, I see my date right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to probably leave early tonight because.
Well, she may not be a cheap date, but girls from Manhattan usually aren't.
Well, that's true, but she can't say anything if I leave her with a check. She's a mannequin.
How about a womankin?
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, the kids are looking out. They are excited about the beginning of this race, as I am, because I think the beginning is going to be the big time. Then it's just going to, you know, that's when it's going to determine who's there.
Yep, lock up your pets and your children, because I guarantee you they will be going for it. Here's our in-car, number 82, and that is James Erb from Orlando, Florida. We've also got, let's see, how many of our guys with in-cars made it into the finals? I guess we're about to find out, huh? So far we know it's James Erb. And here's 007. He made it in there as well. That is Richard Yokel.
Well, that is, is he from here? He's a local yokel. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Richard.
He's not that local. He's from Longwood.
Well, Longwood, Florida. That's really a pretty nice place. I've spent some time there.
You know, some of these cars that started out as intermediate size can now park in the compact parking places.
Well, where would you park it, though? I mean, who do you have to worry about it getting stolen is my question.
Like when I was living in Buffalo and people had beater winter cars and they'd park and put a sign on them that said, "This is not an abandoned car." They were pretty rough.
There's our school car. There is my car after driver's ed. That was definitely my car after driver's ed.
They're wheeling them around, getting in. Let's see what the starter comes up with this time.
Well, you know, and it looks like just a line this time. How boring.
Here's 69R, a little bit backlit, but what the heck, we can deal with that as soon as he, and all that Musco lighting is paying off for Bo Murphy. He can see very well inside that car. The Orange County Sheriff Department. Bobby, Gerald, what's going on, bud?
Well, we wanted to show you what these guys do to these cars to try to make them as safe as you can for a demolition derby. So here are a couple of the things that they do. They take the battery and they put it in a battery box. Now, we pulled the battery out of the box right now, but usually it's in there, it's all covered up so that if you get bashed over there by the door, you don't get battery acid and all that kind of stuff all over the place. They also take the gas tanks and put the gas tanks right behind where the driver sits. Because you can't get blasted in the driver's side door, that's the safest place possible to put this 5 gallons of gasoline. Other than that, as you can see, it's a pretty bare bones model here, but that's what your basic demolition derby car looks like.
And at what other form of motorsports events would they sell blow-up souvenir hammers? Because without a selection of hammers, you couldn't possibly prepare one of these cars properly. Hey, it's going to be a traditional demolition derby lineup. Oh, baby. Let's go to Mike. Okay, we're going to commercial. We'll be right back with the start. Welcome back to the Gambler Bass Boats Florida Free for All. The final is up right now. There is about 38 cars, which means there's half the room to maneuver. Al, there were in any of the heat races.
It looks like it is just going to be, and I hear the countdown by the crowd. This is it, folks. We are underway.
Looks like every morning in L.A. It could be the 405 freeway, the 5, the 10, it wouldn't even matter. Here's the 007 in car. Our man doing the best he can with what he's got left. Richard Yokel. Oh, you can hear it.
We have got machinery laying everywhere.
Remember what 14 said. Victor Whaley Jr. out of Illinois. His greatest satisfaction is rolling one over.
I think he said he want to hit him hard.
Hit him hard.
He's going to hit him hard.
Well, also smashing and bashing James Herb with our end car from heat number 1. Get him, Jim. Show us some pictures, Jim. Win an Emmy, Jim.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He could go for the big time if he could just take it off with an in-car camera.
And there's 14 with the green roof. You see on the other side of this mess. Right now, you'll see guys taking frontal charges that would never do that. And here's our education special, Jeff Cole.
Our X1R car.
And look at him. He's going to use the front end to attack it. That's what it takes at this point in the ball game.
But he's still flying those balloons, and that's the important part about it.
You know, I think the important part about this kind of motorsport is more fun. Now, you hear the word fun more often from guys you interview than anywhere else. And 14 is just punishing 24. Bill Loomis really being the victim of the oppression on 14.
14 looks like the end of the Dragnet show when the big hammers go down.
And here's our 69 ER, Bo Murphy. Oh, how does he see?
He doesn't. And how do we see?
We don't.
We just assume somebody is getting crashed out there because I think that's what's happening.
And while they're tangled up, they may be actually buying a little time for themselves.
Well, that's what I think. There's a little bit of possum being played out there. But unfortunately, you all are getting a much better picture than we are because the place is being blanketed with oil.
Well, 14 is really starting to show some battle scars now. But I still like Victor Whaley Jr.'s shot at this thing.
Well,
and Whaley took a shot himself. The 15 car of Jack Flynn nailed him. Let's have another look at that. And we got a great big fire. That is the 444 car right in the center of the field. Bill Lucas from Melbourne, Florida. That's going to bring out the red flag. And it is definitely an engine fire. Did he get out of the car? He appears to have gotten out safely and probably very quickly.
And look, Bill's got his water bottle there. He should have just put the fire out like that with his water bottle on the top of the car.
Well, I assure you, they've got the proper firefighting equipment. They need all of it. In fact, before the show started, Dutch Holland, our chief judge, said they're going to need a lot of firefighting equipment tonight. Bobby Jarrell?
Bill Lucas, the driver of that 444, we saw him bail out of there. We'll see if we can track him down. But kind of an interesting story there. His father, Harold Luke Lucas, is the guy who was preparing this car. So a father-son team here, and his father was telling me that he used to be a racer himself, and now he's behind the effort here for his son. So as soon as we can grab Bill, we'll grab him and talk to him. And boy, they're still got a problem getting this fire under control, guys.
Well, my guess would be a broken fuel line, probably right at the carburetor. A lot of the guys put on a flex line instead of a solid copper or steel line to prevent that. But I'll tell you, this thing is still burning.
Yes, it is.
And let's remember that this is one of the reasons the gas tank is out of the trunk. Actually, it's in the back seat. I don't know if that's good or not. Okay, you'll see, if you watch closely, you'll see the fire. Upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll just see it start to ignite. There it is, right there, right in the center of your screen, off to the left. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a volcano when it got lit. All right, from the in-car camera, let's see if we can get a peek of this. Yep, right there in front. Houston, we have a problem.
And look at, he says, well, I think I'll just back right up and leave that.
Smokey DeBerry's not.
But
hey, Bobby Gerald, you got our man down there. Is he okay?
I've got our man, Bill Lucas. Bill, what happened?
She just went up in flames.
Get him. He's out of the car. We're laughing about this, Bill, because you're all right, and that's the most important thing there. Did you take a shot directly right there, or what happened?
Took a shot right in that corner.
Boom. Boom. Or poof. Or something like that, Steve.
Okay, I'll go with Poof, the Magic Dragon.
All right, and number, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. How about 14? How's your man doing out there, Al?
I'm looking over there. I thought he was going to pick up, team. I thought he was going to pick some things up, and he is just using his car as a straight back. But I see some smoke coming out of the front. That could be a problem.
All right, here's our education special, X1R with Jeff Colt.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to have him as a teacher?
Look at him use that gear shift, man. They take out all the stops. They just use low gear and reverse gear, nothing else. Skydiving and scuba diving. This guy lives on the edge, doesn't he?
He sure does. And he's on the edge here, but he's still in it. I think my taxi's out of it. It looks like, oh, there's our 007 car. Can't see out of the back, but he's going to go straight ahead.
Yeah, that's Richard Yokel. And I got to tell you, Victor Whaley Jr., well, I don't see him right now. Look, the 007 car, look at the amount of damage, and he's still out there fighting because he's got that blunt into the back now. He's more dangerous than ever.
Oh, yes, he is. And,
and the 17 car comes in for a nice little shunt. Center 82, James Erb, Orlando, Florida. We're on board with him now. Jimmy, doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. And you need to go out and shut your hood.
Well, they had hood latches. Had is the operative word in that sentence.
Yeah, about 3 hours ago.
Yep, about 3 hours ago. Well, Jimmy Erb, Orlando. Come on, Jim. Certain cooling effect, I believe, though, from the hood angle.
Yeah, that does help out quite a bit. But our auto roadside sign, number 33, look at him. He's going after the 14 car. He has got no fear in this race.
Hey, the 14 car, he maneuvers that thing like he was in a road race. Victor Whaley Jr., he said, I like to get the fans on my side. Well, he certainly has tonight.
Yes, he has, and absolutely no effect to what's going on in the back. Everybody tries to ram him in the back, and it doesn't do anything.
Well, our 33 car, David Stigers, that's a car to Simpson, Kansas.
And he won 5 derbies last year, and he's got a shot at number 6 starting off this year tonight.
I'll tell you another car out there doing some damage is that orange 84. Colors and numbers, boys. Kevin Huggins of Golderville, Illinois.
It looks like the 14, this was the fight I wanted to see, was the 14 car and the 33 car. But they're backing off now. They're going after the other prey of the Derby there.
You know, Victor Whaley, that 14 car, he is amazing how he keeps his wheel speed up. Whether forward or reverse, you never see the car sit still for any amount of time.
Well, I think
That's the end of it. The checkered flag has flown here in Orlando. Who do you like, Al?
I like number 14. I like Victor.
Bobby Gerald, who do you like out there?
As well, Victor Whaley. I think the 14 or the 33, either one of those two, flip a coin.
Okay, well, we'll declare a winner when we come back live for the final time to Orlando Speedworld to what has been just a wonderful Destruction Derby evening. Come back with us.
He'll hit you with a gas board, hit the dashboard, there goes your bumper. Better get the wrecker warned. You feel like an Iraqi in the desert storm.
When people hear the Hendrick Motorsports team switched to Quaker State last year, they'll probably think Quaker State wrote us a big check. Well, that's not how it happened. First, it had to pass our camshaft test. Then it had to pass our dyno test. Then it had to pass a track test. Then they wrote us the big check.
Quaker State for a clean running engine. Race fans, kick off the 1997 NASCAR season with this exclusive offer, an authentic TNN Motorsports NASCAR Thunder mini helmet made by Simpson Race Products. Call today or visit your local NASCAR Thunder store to purchase this one-of-a-kind limited edition collectible. Call 1-800-338-6016.
Welcome back to TNN Motor Madness. Still to come, Steve Burns chats with Richard Childress, 6-time Winston Cup Championship car owner. But right now, we've got to head back to Orlando, Florida to find out who won the Florida Free-for-All. Steve Evans.
Well, Randy, indeed, we have a winner. The crowd was chanting all during that commercial break. 14 in unison. And I don't think that affected the judges one bit because Victor Whaley Jr. flat trounced him here tonight. And his showmanship was part of it. He was just always moving, always grooving. Unbelievable.
He busted him, Steve. He absolutely. I'm in this next time. I am entering a car, Steve. I can't wait. Look for the Bobby Max car, number 61.
Okay, let's go down to Bobby Gerald.
Victor Whaley Jr. standing on top of the car, and his buddy, the third-place finisher, was up there along with him. Victor, this is your first ever Demolition Derby win. Congratulations.
Thank you. I love it, and I'm going to keep running them. I had a good feeling about this one.
Now, I think the main thing we want to talk about with you was that somehow you were able to keep your rear wheels moving better than anybody else. You were getting the best grip. How come?
I think I hold it to the floor more than anybody.
It's that simple. He says the whole key to the thing was holding it down to the floor. Congratulations on your first win once again.
Thank you.
Steve?
Well, thanks a lot, and I think that is absolutely the secret. That was hammered down. Well, Al, this was your first demo derby. You did a great job. What'd you think?
Thank you so much. I had an absolute blast, and in fact, like I said, I was so excited a minute ago. I'm entering a car in the Atlanta. I am just going for it because I've got a car that's ready to go with that.
Yeah, well, I'll believe that when I see it. But I have to tell you that it was worth the wait for the debut of Demo Derby here on Motor Madness live on TNN. And we're going to have another, I believe, 6 or 7 of these before our year is out.
Your heart out.
So for all of us here at Orlando Speedworld, we thank all of you at home for watching. And we're going to head on back to Charlotte, North Carolina. Motor Madness' home base and Randy Pemberton.
Thank you, Steve. Great stuff. I don't think I'd ever want to do that, but maybe get into a swamp buggy. You know, if you ask who one of the most respected people is in Winston Cup racing, a lot of people will tell you that it's Richard Childress. Not tremendously successful as a race car driver, but he has been as a car owner, and he's standing by with Steve Burns.
Thanks, Randy. Again, here in Pinehurst with Richard Childress, the owner of Richard Childress Racing. And Richard, let's talk about Daytona a minute. Mixed results. Dale winds up upside down, but prior to the race, Mike Skinner, your new driver, is on the front row. What an accomplishment.
Yeah, you know, I was really proud of that accomplishment. And, you know, Dale winning his 125 miler, that was a great accomplishment for the Goodwrench team. But, you know, both teams put a lot of effort into it, and I've seen in testing and even at the racetrack a lot of teamwork between both teams. So I'm really excited about that, and keep it going is going to be a chore I can see also, but I think it can be a great plus for both teams.
And of course, how about the disappointment that Dale and your team must share the 500?
Well, that's last 2 restrictor plates have been on a roof. I told somebody the other day, I guess we're going to have to put in some wheels up there. I believe he could go and win it with the wheels on the roof, but
You know, it's one of those situations. You get down to those last few laps, you always hold your breath on restrictor plate racing because you know, you really can't just pull out and pass, and no one today has just a big advantage in cars. And you know, I'm sure Dale was sitting there thinking, you know, man, if I could do that over, I'd have made my move sooner, or I'd have made it later, or whatever. And it's just one of those deals. You know, they asked afterwards, what are you going to do? We're going to build cars, and we're going to come back and try to win at Daytona.
I heard Robert Yates, one of your competitors, talk about a multi-car team. He said, you know, it's like two brothers in the back playing basketball. He says, eventually a fight's going to break out, but, you know, they're trying so hard. How has that worked, getting all the personnel and all those resources working together?
So far, like I said, it's been real good, but, you know, it's something I think you're going to have to work at. It's kind of like having a kid 12 years old, and all of a sudden you have a newborn come along, and trying to share the attention and make sure that everyone gets the same, you know, that's going to be what we have to do. And right now, that was my reason for not doing it before now. As I said, until I know that we can do and give both teams the exact same stuff, I would never do it. And today, I feel we can do it.
Richard, you know, obviously the ultimate goal is to win the Winston Cup Championship. Dale wants to win that 8th title. In your mind, what will be a successful year for Mike Skinner? Or the teams working together, I guess.
I think that's our goal this year, is to try to get both of them working closer together and gain resources and make both teams stronger. And, of course, one of our goals this year is to win our 8th championship, to win the Rookie of the Year, to help Mike Skinner win a Winston Cup race. It's so tough to win in today's competition, and make the Goodwrench team stronger and stronger in depth. And I think if we can accomplish that, we've had a heck of a year.
Well, good luck this weekend. You always want to put on a good show for the sponsor.
Yeah, this is one of Goodwrench's races, and we didn't qualify like we wanted to, but I can guarantee you Dale Earnhardt will race like he always does here.
All right, Richard, thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks a lot, man.
Let's go back to Charlotte with Randy Pemberton.
Thank you, Steve. Richard Childers, certainly a class guy and a great car owner for Dale Earnhardt and Mike Skinner. We need to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up here on Motor Madness right after this. Hope you enjoyed the Demolition Derby action tonight. Keep your television tuned to TNN the entire weekend, because we've got a lot of racing action, including tomorrow. The Busch Series Goodwrench 200 gets the green flag at 1 p.m. right here on TNN. And then on Sunday, race day comes at you at 11:30, followed by the Winston Cup Preview, a special edition heading into the GM Goodwrench 400, and that'll get the green flag at 12:30. So we've got a lot of great racing action as well. There's the GM Goodwrench 400, February 23rd. That's coming at you. Of course, it's been a great night of action here. Demolition Derby. We had a good chance to talk to Richard Childress as well as Dale Earnhardt, and of course, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver Jay Sauter as well. And looking for a great weekend at Rockingham. Next week, we've got monster trucks coming at you for our TNN Motor Madness. Also, the arena trucks from Beaumont, Texas. They'll be swallowing up some cars and making some jumps, and we'll be looking forward to all the fast action out there. We need to leave you here quickly, but we'll be back next Friday for more TNN Motor Madness. So long, everyone.
Motor Madness is brought to you by Miller Lite, to invite you to sit back and enjoy Miller time. Drivers, race teams, and race fans, the 1997 Simpson Race Products Catalog is now available, featuring all the new products and services for 97, plus Simpson's complete line of racer and fan gear. To get your copy, call 1-800-71-RACIN and join Team Simpson today. Go behind the scenes with Ernie Irvin in the exclusive video documenting his triumphant return to racing. Gladiator and Universal Luxury Vans, the official van of tracks, teams, and drivers throughout the NASCAR world. Call 1-800-445-2825 for a dealer near you. By Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, IRL, and major sponsor of the NHRA. Remember to call Featherlight for all your trailer needs at 1-800-800-1230 or 319-547-6000.